had successfully saved the rats.
Oh, from your game that you were playing?
Yeah, Retropolis.
Retropolis?
I have built a Retropolis.
The perils of
Don't-
Retropolis.
It's possible that Twitch might be broken right now
Why is that?
because it's been doing that lately. For one, I'm getting network errors on your video.
You're getting network errors on my video?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
seeing it just fine.
I'm seeing everything just fine.
Let me test the chat.
Your browser does not currently support WebGL rendering, which is required by Foundry Virtual Tabletop. But it does.
That's a different thing.
That's patently untrue. I support that.
Was that network
I'm using
error?
Chrome for things.
Error.
Mm-hmm. I wonder
I
if
am-
it's because of ad blocker.
It could.
That would
The
be weird
robot
if it was
uprising.
because of ad block.
Well, no, because of ad block, I would be
Yeah,
having the
it's
same
not-
issue.
Yeah, it's not because of ad block. I just confirmed.
I'm talking about
You can-
Twitch.
Oh, Twitch is working for me.
It's not working for me.
Hmm.
Let me check other channels first. Yeah, Twitch is just busted for me for some reason, so I will not be using Twitch chat.
I wonder if I don't know if all of our voices are even. This is my first time using the new audio setup, so some things might have changed and probably not for the better.
Yeah, for whatever reason, my Chrome does not want to play Foundry.
Everybody can hear voices. It says chaps. Fantastic.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Chaps. God, Chaps Fantastic was such a fucking annoying character. He played that character, and that character was basically like Evil Knievel, but like cranked to 11, and really, really fucking weird. We're in Fallout, and or not Fallout, but also totally Fallout. It was like a post-apocalypse game, and he was playing somebody who, before the apocalypse, was a motorcycle stuntman.
Okay.
It was just weird.
Go on.
No, it was just like the way Andrew would play him would be like, you know, he'll stand there in his tight pants with the bell bottoms and like do the double finger guns and be like, "We'll be right back."
God.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast.
What about this do you not like?
I hate you all.
I mean,
Look,
is he full Fonz or part Fonz?
you guys are gonna have to figure out how to like have fun in a game, but in a way that I approve of. So you're gonna have to send in forms and that sort of thing.
See, that's part of the problem. Is the way I have fun in a game is by making you disapprove.
And I don't like that part. Clearly. All right.
That's how everyone
Right.
else has fun.
Well, Andy's not
So
here.
I was able to get in, but how I got in was through Microsoft Edge. So
you had to go to Edge to get in.
Did,
Chrome
do you
wasn't
feel
working.
icky?
No, Edge isn't too bad, honestly. Like Explorer,
Edge has gotten substantially
I-
better.
IE is pretty bad, but Edge is actually not bad. I don't mind Edge.
I mean, you can't have all of Microsoft's money behind you and be terrible for that long.
No.
Well, hold on. I say that and also have to recognize that Skype is a thing. So, yeah. I don't know why Foundry isn't working for you in Chrome, but hey, if it's working for you in Edge, then great.
Yeah, it's working just fine in Edge. So whatever.
Yeah.
I wondered. I thought I had the tavern make it so that it pinged when you went live, but I guess not. How very strange.
Oh. I don't know, but
Yeah.
you told me
Oh, well.
you told me to post in your Discord when I did. So
Yeah, please do.
I did. Since apparently I'm part of the Booze Lips network.
Yeah.
Whether you want to be or not.
Yeah, you've kind of just been adopted, so I guess deal with that.
The lips, so boozy, so belchy.
So boozy.
So have we heard from Andy though?
No, I've heard nothing.
All right, I'm gonna send him a text and see what's what.
Okay. Yeah, we can wait a couple minutes and just fuck around before we get started. And then... God, have you guys noticed that sometimes Eric's voice sounds really high pitched?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
there it is.
Like usually,
It's very strange.
Usually he has this sort of like this rumbling like bass to him, this deep baritone. Eric talks like this, and then every
I
now and then
understand.
he's just like, "I really like SpongeBob, yeah."
I
And
have to say, I'm a little jealous of his range.
he's got those Mariah Carey notes. Drives the
Like, I
neighborhood.
really love his low end, but when he just starts talking about random gibberish,
I also love
that high
Eric's
pitch, I don't
low
like
end.
it.
It's just
we can laugh at that. That's fine. I understand.
We did.
Did you?
We did.
Yeah, good.
We were all there.
You all heard it.
Chat, you can totally take that out of context.
Yeah. Welcome to the internet.
So, anybody been playing
Twitch is
anything
not
fun?
working for me at all, so I'm just gonna stop.
I have been playing the Reaper.
And dancing your way to victory?
It's a fun puzzle game, and I think I told you this before. Sir Patrick Stewart does some of the voiceovers in it.
Yeah.
So that was a very pleasant surprise. But yeah, it's fun. It's very fun.
That's cool.
That's so.
It's weird
That's
because on occasion Eric does what I'm assuming verbal equivalent of Hungarian throat sing, where the bass comes through just fine, but so does the high note.
It's really impressive.
It really is.
Especially since the high note and the low note are very different. Like they're not even synchronized. It's like two different, almost completely different sentences almost. I don't know how he does it.
You know,
Yeah.
people have two vocal cords. You just have to work on using both of them at the same time.
Yeah, you just have to make one vibrate while you make the other scream.
Oh.
Okay.
Next week you're gonna. Hey guys, so I've been trying out this technique that Eric had. It's been really hard, but I think it's paying off.
I sound like the original Funimation voice actress in her first form.
Bring
You know, the smoking.
Jedi.
Something, dark side.
We were
Something complete.
we were playing my Witcher game, and they went to church in this town, and there was like a priest of Creve there, and he was like so clearly hateful towards them that I just made him sound like Palpatine because it was so everything the priest said was like this. And they were like, we're just trying to save the town. Of course you are. And there's no alternative reasons for it.
I just wish you had quoted like ironic or like good. just a meme on him.
Well, there was a point
Some say these witches are unnatural.
at one point they did say somebody said the word halfling, which I loved because I got to say Hiffling. Bring me the Hiffling. It's just Palpatine as the priest of a, like, in the lore, kind of a good god. Like, he's just a god about, like, protecting people from dark stuff. Was really funny to me.
I just think, what's it? Oh, I lost it. Never mind.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks, Brain.
You're welcome.
Oh shit! I should actually like learn Foundry so I could use all these macro buttons and do stuff.
Oh,
And then I could be like, I'll press macro, and a macro will do a thing.
Oh, I remembered it now. So you know the caliber of somebody's like Star Wars fandom, like how well they like Star Wars, by how good their Palpy is.
Yeah, like
Because any Star
it's-
Wars fan worth their caliber loves Palpatine.
because Palpatine is a mustache away from tying a Jedi to a train track. Like
He's a snidely whiplash
he's
of Star Wars.
fucking ridiculous. Like he's not just going to kill you, which he is. He's going to explain why and how while he's doing it. And he's going to explain why and how to, Lieutenant Colonel Muttley.
So what you're saying is you're gonna catch him monologuing all the time.
Yes. This is Grand Admiral Muttley of the Imperial Star Destroyer. My favorite was the ISSD fuck because I had a Star Destroyer show up at a game, and I had the captain of that ship forcibly blast his way into the comms of the PC ship, and he was like, "This is Captain Dandaron of the Imperial Star Destroyer," and like my mind just froze, and so it turned into of the Imperial Star Destroyer Fuck.
Man, we were really running out of Star Destroyer names, aren't we?
And they're like, what? And he's like, this
No,
is
no,
what
no,
I
wake them
want
up.
you to do.
We spell it
It's
different.
a regional. It's a regional dialect. It's a ph. There's no.
It means one who
just the K.
fornicates in Beltwake.
It's what you call a ship that makes noodle soup. It's a
Translation's
fuck.
the same. This is
That
the
reminds me of your
IS.
first brain fart you had with a game with me, which was you were like, I entered the room, but first, and you just froze for like 2 minutes.
Well, I said, but first, and then I like turned to grab the book to reference the thing that I wanted to do, and I couldn't find it, and so eventually the DM was like, "All right, John enters the room ass first."
No, what he said he was like, so what are you doing? He's like, no, you heard him. He's going in, but first.
That's a Mike edition if I ever heard one. What are you trying to do? Well, I was hoping to do something clever and fun. But you fucked up. Let's just call it out right now.
That was the game where Mike and I were playing with my friend Dustin, and without fail, every turn, Dustin's turn would be like this. It'd be like, all right, Dustin, it's your turn. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, all right. And he would look at his character sheet, and then he would flip it over and look at the back. And then he'd flip it over and look at the front. And then he would open the book and start, like, flipping through spells. And then after about a minute and a half, he would just sort of sigh and shut the book and be like, I cast Magic Missile.
Damn.
And it was like every turn. It was always Magic Missile, Sleep, or Color Spray. It was never anything else. And it was just like, his turn would come up and he'd be like, oh yeah, let's go over all my shit because I know I have a bunch of cool stuff. And then it would just turn into this really depressed, like, cast Magic Missile.
That sucks.
More because it's not a good, there are better spells. There are much better spells. out
Yeah.
there. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. Much better spells.
Yeah, cast Grease on something. That's always a fun spell.
Seriously, hypnotism,
Grease-
sleep, like,
Grease does
I like-
not help the fight end, but it makes the fight take longer hilariously.
I like minor illusion. Minor illusion with you player.
I make the minor illusion of a pit. Why don't you just cast Create Pit? Well, I'm going to make them think it's real, figure it out, get past it, cast it again, then they'll know that that one's definitely fake, and then I'm going to create an actual pit. Because if you're going to play an illusionist, the point is not to be effective. The point is to be as annoying as possible.
I love that.
True. It's so
I'm not
true.
going to beat the army. I'm going to make the army stop fighting. There's a difference.
Now I have something to put on my business cards. Mike Mead, illusionist.
Okay, so it's been excuse me. It's been 10 minutes, and I see no Andy. So I think that he's probably stuck in traffic or something. Let's hope that he doesn't have COVID again.
Oh, Jesus.
No kidding.
That has happened to some people. I really hope it doesn't happen to Andy. I like him. So we will do a quick recap because we haven't played in about a month, thanks to the holidays and the cyberpunks. That's right. For those watching, we literally didn't play because Cyberpunk came out. It was worse.
Those damn pirates coming into your stream and just watching for free.
Yeah. All those guys. Yeah. When we had our last game, I have notes. Those are Star Wars notes. There we go. So yeah, when we had the last game, basically, it was people getting ready to go north. Gruddick, who is Travis's old character, had been very, very badly wounded by this Kyber dragon shard that was like stuck partially in his heart, and it was kind of like pumping something out of him while pumping something into him, some sort of like weird magic transference thing. And the healer in town said, I can't heal him, but the the ambassador from Droem, which, if we zoom out, Droem is over here. So the ambassador from Droem might be able to help. And so the ambassador from Droem, being a Medusa, helped by turning him to stone, because at least now he can't die. Like, time is not passing for him. Dandarin contacted his parents, because his parents are from over here in the Mror Holds, and he contacted them, and they said, okay, we'll arrange passage for Gruddock to come home, but we need you to get him to Star Alaska, which is up here. New Seer is too small a city. It doesn't have airship docks yet. So while an airship could come to New Seer, they don't have a way to actually get stuff onto the ship. So they still need to, build those docks and stuff like that. But Star Alaska is a trade city. It's a very big trade city. So his parents said, take him up to Star Alaska, and we will arrange passage. You just need to get him there, and they'll fly him home. And so, yeah, so he's doing that. Sort of at the same time, the group had gone to some mines that are over here. And because those mines, it's a quarry, and they're mining basically like granite and marble to make the bricks to build the town, to cobble the roads, to build the streets, all of that stuff. They found that there's an intelligent race living there. They found that there's a manifest zone to another plane there. And they also found that the miners who are working the mine were working for scrip instead of coin. Scrip, like the worst thing. It's the shit that Amazon's doing right now. Don't let people work for scrip. It's terrible. And so the team took that back, and they told Prince Orgev about it, and he said, like, here's the thing. The reason that we were able to use the mine is because just like the sort of area that New Seer set up in, which was abandoned, the mine was also abandoned. So technically nobody owns it right now. I need you to take these papers to my ambassador in Star Alaska so that basically they can take it to Rote and get the mine's ownership transferred over to the city before some noble can snatch it up, because manifest zones are worth money. Manifest zones they're kind of everywhere, but like the good ones, like if you have a manifest zone to Lamania, it's usually worth a good amount of money if you can figure out how to harness. So the group is doing that, and Orgev also put together a wagon of his own with like some guards and some mercenaries, and he said these people are going to be going too, but he gave the actual missives to Dandarin and Zarek. So the two of them are the ones with the actual like notes. The other wagon is essentially a decoy, because if people hear that Prince Orgev sent a wagon, it might get attacked. And the hope is that it gets attacked and Dandarin's wagon gets left alone. So yeah. So that's like sort of part 2 of what's going on. And then part 3, Delian, who is kind of an upcoming thief, has been sent from New Seer to Star Alaska, and he's been sent to Star Alaska for 2 reasons. Number 1, there's apparently this statue of a dwarf that's being transported in this wagon, and it has a gem in its chest, and he's been told to take that. And then number 2 is that the sort of guild that he's trying to get into, one of their people went missing in Star Alaska, sort of went no contact. And so he is been told to try to find some information about that. And then if he can find that information to take it to some people in town and then see what they tell him from there. So that's what the group's been told. This is set up to be a if you're at like a hard ride, it's about a 4.5 day trip or 3 to 4 day trip, because this is about 100 miles from New Seer to Starlasker. But thankfully, there are small towns that are about a day's travel or so apart. Like if you leave New Seer early in the morning, you can usually make it to Jacker's Knack by nightfall. You leave Jacker's Knack, you can make it to Sharon by nightfall. You leave Sharon, you can make it to Exile by nightfall, that sort of thing. So like a lot of the cities are the little villages are about a day's travel away, but this whole road is like dotted with, you know, little farms, little bitty villages, like villages of like 3 buildings, where, you know, like everybody in the village is basically one family, that sort of thing. These are just the 3 notable ones. And I think that's about all for right now. Yeah. So with that said, we'll go over to the New Seer city map. Look at this. We're in the New Seer city map. It is the morning of the 25th. I imagine that you guys are all gathering at the wagon, which is sort of being prepped.
I have a message then first.
You did, yes.
Yes.
So
It could have
you're,
happened before this. But
yeah. I mean, that honestly, that could have happened last night too. So the message that you wanted to send, you're going to the sending house, right? The House Civis house. Yeah.
that's correct.
And so yeah, it's the same. It's the same gnome that you saw working there before. So you come in and you get a, hey, what's up? How's it going?
It's not bad. Very chipper.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty nice day. Fair's in town. Food's pretty good right now. It's not really a lot to be sad about.
I need to see how much it would cost us.
It depends on where you need to go. Where you need it to go depends on how many people we got to route it through. We got to charge for that.
I needed to go to the Druids of.
Do you have a city?
There totally is one. Where is that truant? The truant is in Greenheart.
The Treant is in Greenheart.
Probably where she.
Okay. So yeah. At that, he will. You see him take out a book and he starts flipping through a couple of pages, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't have a direct connection to Greenheart, but I can get you there in 2 routes. It's 5 to send and then 2 per route, so total will be 9 Galifar."
That's well worth it.
And he says, "Okay," and he like gives you a sheaf of paper and an ink with a quill, or a pen with a quill, and he goes, "You got 25 words. If you're the type that doesn't know how to use big words, I'm going to say that you have 35, and then I'll fix it for you." So, exactly what is the content of the message that you want to send?
So ultimately, Zarak is looking for information on manifest zones, but she's trying to phrase it in such a way that she's not going to tip somebody off that she's looking for just manifest zones. Like kind of including some secondary information. In fact, I think I've got this just about written out. Give me just a second.
Okay.
So, requesting reference materials on planar manifestations, connections to moons, and history of this. Because if that message gets intercepted, they're probably going to think we're monsters,
Okay.
as opposed to manifest.
Is that all?
That's all she's looking for. She just
Okay.
needs more information from the druids there.
He goes, you give that to him, and he glances at it real quick, and then he looks up and he goes, "You got 11 left, you sure?"
Valid.
And he goes, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just letting you know that you don't get any sort of a discount if you choose to go with less.
What is the predominant druidic religion of Green Wardens, or?
They have all of the major sects there. But the main sect that they have is the Wardens of the Wood. Let's see. It's the Wardens of the Wood and the Green Singers.
Green Singers is what I'm looking.
Okay. Sounds good. So with that in mind, can you? Cool. And yeah, he will take that and he will send the message, and you are good to go. He says, "Is this something where you?" He goes, "Hold on," and he goes over. He activates the sending stone, which is basically just this Sybaris. It's a fairly large Sybaris shard, and he kind of like touches it and speaks a couple words, and then he comes back and he says, "You want to destroy it, or do you want me to?" All right. And he hands you a piece of paper and he says, "I'm gonna need the 9 gold."
Absolutely. If I were looking for return service, should a message be found to hold materials or the message in kind, is there an additional fee?
Typically, if the message comes here, they will have paid for it. So we have a couple of couriers, and it's a fairly small town. So if we get messages for someone, we tend to send a runner. So
I'm heading out of town for a short while, but I'll cover the reverse fee.
do you want me to send the message ahead to wherever you're going?
No, just hold it here.
Okay. Yeah, then when you get back into town, just check in and you can see if
Actually, thinking about that, Starlasker's a much bigger city than New Seer, isn't it?
yes. Starlasker's like 15 times the size of News here.
In that
Minimum.
case, yes, Zeract will request that it gets forwarded up to Starlasker.
Okay. And he goes, "Yeah, I can do that. It'll cost you 5 more Galifar to send it up."
So 9 and 9 and 5?
Well, it'll so it's going to cost you 9 to send. The one that's coming back, are you saying that you want to pay for that now? Okay. Then yeah, it'll cost you an additional 9, and then to send to Starlasker will cost you 5.
Cool. Yeah. Zeract does that.
Cool. Yeah. And so he says, "Sounds great. If it comes here, I will send it up to the sending house in Starlasker under the name." And he kind of like looks at the piece of paper, and he's like, under the name Gwinnett, and
Zeract.
Okay, under the name Zeract. And if it doesn't get here by the time you get back, the money is well, it's half refundable. You'll get back 2 gals and 5 sovereign.
Zeract just nods, like she's not interested in the money. It's fine.
Okay. So yeah, he takes it down, and then he's I guess you're probably done there. So yeah.
Head to the wagons.
Sounds good. Is anyone else doing anything in town before you guys leave?
I just salves if I haven't.
Yeah, you can do that really quick in the morning. So do you need to roll for that, or just do it?
Yes, but I think I have enough.
Okay.
Oh, if I roll a 1, I fail.
Yeah. So what fun is not rolling a 1?
Yeah.
Pass.
Okay, cool. You make your salves. You can now shoot people back to health.
I don't know if I want to put it in a vial. 'Cause
I
I'm gonna
know.
Use the vial.
But it would be funnier if you shot people back to health.
Need more gold to pull it back to. We'll talk
Okay,
about this
what if you didn't shoot them? What if you just covered a rock in cream and then you like threw it at Ringer's head?
Yeah.
You catch it and hit someone else with it.
And
Because that's not. That would damage Ringer. It wouldn't actually fly itself.
I mean, you're small. It wouldn't damage Ringer.
Noah, quit putting limitations on my fun.
Where's the
Throw rocks at Ringer.
I demand you throw rocks at Ringer.
I guess
Throwing
Shring
rocks
picks
at
up
Ringer-
some rocks.
Run
Okay.
the risk of having rocks thrown back at you.
So
And
Okay.
you might not be able to get up after.
So Zarak sends a message. Noah Sharut makes some alchemical items.
And I perform maintenance on all of our things.
You perform maintenance. I forget what maintenance does.
So what that allows me to do, so this is something I probably would have spent the night doing,
Yeah.
because during the rest period I was doing it. So I make adjustments to all of our gear, and I can customize it accordingly for each party member. I can do things like, so 1, I can reduce the armor check of all of our armor by 1 right now, and increase the armor bonus of the worn armor, but not shields yet, by 1. And that's all it is for right now. So I can do that to all of our armor, or I can give bonuses against competence bonus to will saves, fort saves, or will saves. I can let us ignore squares of difficult terrain. I can give us DR against swarms. I can increase the effective hit points of our gear in case we run into things that do sundering, or I can increase our carrying capacity effectively by 2 points of strength. I can also make our stuff reflective against ray attacks for 1 ray attack by
And I
polishing
just
it
want the art
to a mirror finish.
Yeah,
Just
let's
makes it
do
very
the armor.
shiny.
Yeah, that's the armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can also sharpen weapons though. So if someone wants me to do, it would give a +2 bonus to damage rolls with manufactured weapons. If anyone wants that.
So the problem with that is that you don't have anyone that would work on, except for you,
Yeah, I
because
know.
Ringer,
It used to be me at
yeah, Ringer goes through his
Eberron
weapons really
Actual turned
fast.
stone.
Yeah, Ringer goes through weapons really fast. Sharut like shoots arrows. Zoract shoots arrows.
Hang on. I
So
do
here's
have a
the thing.
pouch full of pens.
I do want to make a note, John Eric.
Yeah.
It does not specify that it's melee weapons. It's manufactured weapons for that character. So I sharpen basically all their arrow tips,
Which
and so when they use their bow,
Yeah, that's not bad.
bolts.
crossbows actually count as a manufactured weapon.
Yeah, that's not bad. So it wouldn't work on Ringer.
so I could do that. Yeah, it wouldn't work on Ringer because they're improvised,
Yeah,
but it would work on Sharut.
that's fair.
So
But it sounds
Yeah,
like
if everyone just wants armor, then yeah, we just.
I'll take sharpened as well.
Okay, you'll take sharpened weapons. Okay, so that's a +2 untyped bonus on all damage rolls with those weapons.
okay.
Yeah.
So Sharut gets
everyone
sharpened
else wants
weapons.
armor
Everybody
maintenance.
else gets +1 to hit.
I'd
Yeah,
prefer
and minus,
will saves.
you get a +1 competent bonus to will saves.
Okay, that brings me up to a +2.
And then oh my god! And then everyone, jeez. And then everyone else gets a +1 to their armor bonus and a -1 to the armor check penalty.
Neato.
What would
And
you like, friend thief?
No, I'm just gonna be making some gadgets.
Okay.
Fingers.
So you're doing that, Dillian, as you're making gadgets with the other group. Yeah. Do you have to make your gadgets at the beginning of the day?
It says a technician can create a total number of gadgets a day equal to half his technician skill plus his intelligence modifier.
Okay. So what are you making?
I'm just making my hook and pulley, like a couple of them.
Okay. Cool. So while the rest of you sharpen arrows, Link over
I'll be
here
right
makes
back.
some hook shots.
Hell yeah, my guy.
All right. And sounds like that's everybody except for Ringer. Is Ringer doing anything of note?
Ringer already did everything he wanted to do during the festival.
He doesn't seem like a dude who has a lot of prep.
Not really.
It seems like the character is actually built around not having prep.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah,
He
weird.
wakes up and he goes to do the thing.
Yeah, neat. Okay, so yeah, Dandrin, your wagon meets with Orgeb's wagon at the north of town. So they're just sort of waiting for you up here-ish. And
They're waiting. It was an ambush. Ah.
uh,
They're waiting.
and yeah, you guys see there's a number of people in or around this wagon. There's a male driving it who's it's Amandu, who I described before as having that he's sort of balding, a little overweight. Basically he's wearing a hauptland, which is essentially just a long gown with long sleeves. He's a man who looks a lot like the dungeon master from the cartoon of Dungeons and Dragons. He's just kind of short and fat and has an egg cape for hair.
Sorry,
and
I'm
he's the
back.
driver. There's a male shifter named Cordit, and Cordit is he's dressed in a bunch of tans and leathers, and he's got a bow over his shoulder, and he's got a cowboy hat on. There's Exile of Garenfurt, who you recognize, Dandrin, as the man who gave you a black mark for the city of Exile. And Exile is just the shittiest looking person. You guys know from Game of Thrones that the 2 seasons where the Hound just looked terrible? That's Exile. Except he's dirtier. he just doesn't look great. There's Gever, who is a half elf, and he's wearing armor. Actually, Dandrin, give me a blacksmithing check, or a profession blacksmith or a crafting check. It's up to you.
Gee, I wonder which one I'm going to do.
Profession sailor. Got it.
Profession mason.
What can you do with a
23.
drunken blacksmith? Probably not stuff that involves forge yet. So yeah, you recognize. So Gever is wearing armor and a shield that has clearly had somebody basically go over it with a knife. to like scrape all of the paint off. You recognize that he is wearing a Thrannish breastplate and greaves, but he's wearing like Northern Braelish shield, helmet, and vambraces. So it's hard to tell if this dude is a deserter or if he's like a battlefield, like what would you call that? Like a grave robber. But like this stuff is either scavenged or he's deserted and he's scraped off all of the markings to try to like make it harder to identify. And you all see Zena. Zena's a nice looking half orc. Pretty big tusks. Her mouth seems to be mostly teeth. Just like a lot of teeth. But she's got pretty pale skin with only sort of a faint sheen of green and red hair, and she has the most awkward weapon that D&D has ever had, which is a double-ended, double-headed axe. She has the orc double axe, which she is basically just like standing next to. It's like one head's on the ground and the other is in the air, and she's kind of leaning on it because there's no way to carry this thing in a way that's not uncomfortable. And then you see Ashlis, who is a human woman, sort of pale, darkish hair, wearing just clothing. And like she's got a shirt and pants and like a cape and all that stuff on, but nothing of note. And you see Delian, and Delian looks like Delian. He's like the one dude from there that you would recognize if you hadn't spoken to Exile like the day before. As you guys are doing this, a trio of House Deneth warriors sort of walks up to the wagon, and they walk up to you, Zeract. The three of them are all they're all humans. They're all female. They're all wearing pretty much the same thing. It's like different brands of like the same type of chainmail. They might have like the belt tied on a different way. They might have the tabard tied a little differently, but they're all looking pretty similar. They have a shield, they have a sword, and they have a longbow on their back. And the three of them walk up to you, and then the one in the lead kind of takes her helmet off and rests it in like the crook of her arm, and she looks to you and she says, Are you the client? Are you Zeract?
Yes, I get you are the individuals from Deneth that I've contracted.
We are. I am Fosind. This is Bowen and Coralie. The three of us will be guarding you.
I will be stationed primarily in this other wagon here, and it's important that both I and the content.
We will protect you and your contents with our lives. You will make it to Star Alaska.
I appreciate it.
And the Forcend puts the helmet back on, and she walks around to the side of the wagon, and the three of them are, how can I put it? Not really at attention, but they're already sort of like watchful. They have sort of stationed themselves around the wagon so in such a way that they can see each other, but they can keep a watch of things.
Alert.
Yeah, they're just, it's like they're trained guardsmen.
Weird.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Like, why would they do this? It's so fun to just be able to direct where you guys look.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Real fun.
Yeah, it's good for everybody, especially Travis. He likes it the most because he knows
I
that
do.
it irritates you.
Yeah. You're not far off.
Yeah. It looks like Lumio's here. Andy, are you here? I saw that he joined the game. I see that he's talking, but I don't hear him talking.
I sort of heard him talk.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Much better. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have to go up a little bit louder because you're still pretty quiet.
How's that?
Ah, that's way better.
Good, good. Yeah, apologize for being late. I totally forgot after being in traffic that I was doing something after I got home. Yeah, what's up? I have no idea where Lumio is.
Well, to start from the very beginning, to recap,
To recap,
There are 3 dragons, one on top, one below, and one in the middle.
but which one wins? The one you feed. It's a metaphor.
But we
Also
live on the
Godzilla.
middle one, so I don't know exactly how that metaphor works anymore.
Yeah, and then you guys all leave town. You start heading out.
Indeed,
since,
we do.
Since you're
I
heading
will
out,
drive the wagon.
you will drive the wagon.
As the one with the skill to do so, I drive this wagon.
With that said, Monsieur Danderon, please give me your profession driver test to see how well you drive a wagon.
I'll see your profession driver, and I'll raise you handle animal. Not well.
Man, you suck out loud. All right.
You're like 5 minutes outside of town, you break a wheel.
All of the violence and the skill was in the other brother. This one is mostly just making things.
It's tonight I've rolled a 1, a 7, and a 5. It's going great.
Well, what you're doing is making sure that the average works for Noah.
I need those
Gobble bastard.
So does he.
God,
Two of us need to blow them on just completely unrelated knowledge checks. So really
Right.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
yeah. So, for the rest of you, Lumio, Ringer, Sharut, and Zeract, who out of you are in the wagon? Now, the crate that Grudek is in is taking up the majority of the back. Because they didn't just throw their potentially fragile brother in the back. So he's in a crate that's good for shipping. So who else is in the wagon?
Zerax in the wagon, and if there's room to kind of nap the way that she...
You could probably lay on the crate, but that's about it. Dandarin has like a couple of spare part things that he brings, which is basically like he brings an anvil and he brings like a spare wheel, just in case.
Fortunately, upgrading to the medium wagon means that there is enough space for one more person up front with me, and then now only one person in the back because Grudek's in there.
Yeah.
It was probably more like a sitting up kind of napping thing as opposed to like a laying out.
Cool.
Stretching out.
All right. So Zerax in the back, and anyone else in the wagon?
Lumio is not.
I think Ringer got kicked out of the wagon for that very same attempt.
Sounds great.
So
I will actually hold on. Let me get over.
just to clarify, it's a weight issue at this point. Grudek weighs so much that with me and one person in front, only one other person could be in the wagon.
What if it's Sharut?
Sharut could probably get away with it.
Look,
Unless
Sharut would
doing
fit,
that pack
but
mule
do we
thing.
want him in the wagon like a person?
Like, really?
Hey, all I have to say is it takes me 4 steps to match your guys' 1. So give the little guy a break.
We've got to
so
get
cute
10,000
when you
steps in.
toddle along, though.
Everybody loves watching a Gobbo struggle to keep up.
Why don't you
Yeah,
just ride on Lumio's shoulders?
that's also a possibility.
I don't think Lumio could carry me.
We need a papoose.
A papoose.
Aren't you a small creature?
I am, but my backpack.
Oh, but it's okay. You see, I can just, because he didn't get to say anything, I just give him the pack bonus, so his strength counts as too high for carrying.
Thank you.
Probably not enough, but whatever.
Why is it
me?
Why? This
Look
is-
at all of the.
Still 2 ringers.
Look at all these chickens.
What do I do with all these chickens?
It looks like the
Sorcery.
carriage is frightened.
More sorcery.
Delian, actually.
Okay, so with that said, you guys, your wagon also has Forsend, but not 2 of her, Corley and Bowen, and then
Delightful.
this other wagon has all of these folks. So,
Every other motherfucker.
yep, Exile, Zena, and Delian, you are over there. So yeah, there's probably a lot of sort of walking back and forth between the wagons, because they're kind of if the road allows, they're sort of right next to each other, and if it doesn't, Orgev's wagon tends to take the lead.
Is Lumio on the map?
No, but he's in our hearts.
Yeah. Never forget.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
Ooh.
Damn.
So
sudden.
no.
So yeah.
There we go. There I am. I'm falling, but
Yeah. So once Exile goes into the wagon, which he does basically as soon as the as you guys start leaving town, he doesn't really come back out. Delian, if you check on him at any point, he's in that sort of like paranoid sleep that paranoid people have, where he's leaning against the inside of the wall and his eyes are closed, but as soon as you make the slightest noise, it's like hand goes to knife and his eyes open.
Which fellow?
This guy right here.
Okay.
So like he's in the back of the wagon and is sort of, and then you make any noise to like look in there, and his eyes all just snap open and he looks around.
Jesus Christ.
Cordit is doing what he was paid to do, which is scouting. So he'll run ahead and then he'll come back, and he'll run ahead and he'll come back. He's occasionally on top of the wagon, but he's seems to be taking the scouting thing pretty seriously.
Yeah.
Zinna and Gever don't really go into it. Oh, did I put Ashless out there? Ashless. Zinna and Gever don't really go into the wagon at all. They're just sort of walking around, keeping an eye out as they can. Just being guards, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, with all of that said, what are you doing?
I would say what I would be doing, the paranoid fool right there.
Yeah.
Every time he gets looks like he's dozing back off, and just enough to where he might, given any more time, slip back into sleep, I move abruptly.
Wow.
Oh, what a dick.
I love that you're playing a character who's just like, I would like to troll the dangerous man. If I could troll the dangerous man, that would be either fun or funny or dangerous, and I'm down for all of those.
Like, the first time I'll be like, I needed to grab my handkerchief. The next time will be like, yeah, my leg was going dead.
I grabbed too many handkerchiefs.
I needed to put some back. And then I'll wake him up again. I actually did need another handkerchief.
Excuse me, do you have a tinder box? I need to light this.
Oh, God.
I seem to have burnt my handkerchief.
And then just the loudest
That was my
handkerchief as possible.
Achoo! Yeah, just shit like that.
Okay. So, yeah, you're just trolling this poor man for no reason.
I have to keep myself entertained.
That's a 24/7 job, man.
It is, man. It's very difficult.
All right, that handkerchief wasn't mine.
And he wakes up, I'm putting a handkerchief in his pocket.
Thank you. All right, so Sheard's up front. Ringer and Lumio, I imagine, are probably hanging out because they tend to.
Mhm.
And these three are sort of, one of them's taking up the rear. One of them is always walking very close to the back of the wagon so that they have eyes like directly on Zarak, and the other one would be walking on this side. And they just kind of like, they'll weave in and out so nobody has to be in the back of the wagon for too long, but this is sort of what they do.
I'm really thrilled with the professionalism of these.
Me too.
You hired what are literally like, you went to the dragon marked house of soldiers and bodyguards and you said, I would like to hire 3 bodyguards. And they're like, okay, this is what we do. Like, this is very specifically the best people in the world at this job.
for context, Ziract is pretty used to the shifter way of doing things, and so you go into a town and just be like, "Hey, I need some people to protect me," and then a ragtag group of like maybe 2 or 3 guys would be like, "Yeah, I'm not busy. I guess I could do that." And that's her experience with this process. So seeing people who are actually like capable and are communicating, it's a game changer.
Yeah. No, the Dragon-marked houses specialize because that's the thing that they do best. And these 3 aren't even marked; they're just trained. So yeah. Okay. So, sorry if you can hear that on the mic. I just opened a deck of cards to fiddle with things with my hands.
That's what that was.
Yeah, I got into a bunch of cards the other day, and I was like, I'll open some cards and have something to fidget with.
Fuck, the deck of many things so early. Why, John? Why?
No, it's not the deck of many things. It was a deck that's
I draw 12.
it's
A deck of single
1,
things.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, 10. It's 10 decks of like, here's some interesting quest ideas. And not that I'm using these for quest ideas. It's what's on my desk to fiddle with, keep my hands busy. So anyway, as you're all riding along, Ringer and Lumio, this wonderfully burly lady walks over.
Hello. Greetings to you as we walk along. Glad to share the road with you.
Same here. I saw the 2 of you a couple weeks ago in Sear over in Bogrick's tent. It was pretty exciting. I gotta say, I was really impressed with what you can do. And she like looks at Ringer, and she is clearly talking to Ringer. And she's and then she looks at you, Lumio, and she's like, "But it's nice to meet you anyway."
I do have a really, really good cape.
Yep. You sure do, bud.
You guys, do you think that we're gonna run into much? It seems.
Oh, very likely.
It seems like 8 is maybe a bit of an overkill.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
it's
no
better
idea.
to surprise whatever we come across.
Well, I hope we do. And she kind of like lifts the axe and sort of puts it on her shoulders, like you've seen like a monk would use a staff, but it's real awkward because there's a big axe head at either end. And so she puts it on the shoulders, and then she kind of like drapes her arms over it, and she says, "Yeah, I haven't been able to test this out much, and I'm pretty excited to see it get some use."
And honestly, say I've never seen anyone use one before.
And she
I don't think
says,
it can be
It
used.
looks a little awkward.
and she goes, "It is, but it's an ancestral thing. I was told that my people used to use them a long time ago, and I've heard that some over in the Mror Holds and some in the Shadow Marches still do. But yeah, when there was an option to get one, it's kind of one of those, the weapon of my people from long ago." And I was like, I gotta try it out. I gotta give it a shot.
Well, I guess there's one reason to find out why they stopped using it.
And
I don't think they stopped using it. I think they're the only ones who do.
and she says it's more that. It's more that other people don't really have the patience to pay into it.
That I can understand, because not many people would just fight with whatever they find on the ground like I do.
Why would you do
Yeah.
that? Why possibly?
Who would expect it?
I had hoped that wasn't the point.
Well, and she kind of like, she sort of spins the thing so it like, she takes it off real fast with her right hand so that the left side of it sort of swings really wide around her shoulder, and then she slams it into the ground. And it's a big looking weapon, and while she is, well muscled, she's not necessarily very like tall. She's not very broad. She's just very fit. So seeing somebody who is that size wield a weapon that big and that awkward with one hand is a little impressive, as she kind of like spins it and slams it. And she says, "Well, still, I think that I've put in the time, and I want to see if it works. So just keep an eye out and let us know if you see anything. We're all, regardless of what Amandu says or Exile or anyone else, I think that we're all sort of in this one together. So let's work together on this, right?"
I mean, yeah. If we have downtime, I don't know if we're going to be stopping for the night or not. But if we do, if you need someone to spar with,
Sure, definitely. always down for a contest of strength. You look like you could, well, I don't know, lose with vigor.
Lumia
Told
starts
that
stepping
before.
away.
And so yeah, she at that point she'll go back and just kind of like, you know, you guys are sort of on the road. She kind of like jumps up on this rock and like looks out over the plains a little bit. The road from New Seer to Jacker's Knack is pretty flat. There's a couple of hills every now and then, but for the most part, it's just plains. There's a lot of like tall grasses. If you get anything that's high, if you get up on a rock that's like, you know, 4 or 5 feet off the ground, you can see for a distance. Yeah, it's the plains around you are basically just open. You can actually, even though there's the tallest building in town for New Seer is 2 stories, you guys are traveling for like nearly 2 hours before those buildings are out of sight, because that's how flat this land is. You are in Kansas. Yeah, so you guys keep going a little bit, and the crew will like move down the road, mosey along. As you all are going, Dandrin, you hear some words in a language that you don't really understand. It sounds kind of made up, being shouted behind you. It is barked out really quickly. It has that Karnathi accent that the 3 women have. And then there's sort of a loud sound in the back of the wagon, and then Bowen moves in front of the wagon, holds a hand up to you with her open hand, and like sets her shield, and then draws her sword, and like you see her sort of flick her head, and the visor for the helmet just slams into place. And yeah, it happens very, very quickly. And then from inside the wagon, Forsen says, Bowen said she saw someone on the road. It was up ahead of us in the thicket of trees.
How far?
It looks to be nearly 2, maybe 300 meters.
All right. I relay the information. But like,
Yeah.
Just, where do you want me to set up the other guards?
And
Sharut. Oh, go ahead.
Forsen says, that is not up to me. And they're just looking at you, Zarek. They are, like, this woman basically just disturbed your sleep by sort of slamming into the wagon next to you, where you were kind of like, you know, leaning against the wall and napping.
Zarax will grab her crossbow and set up and say, right, well, the contents of the wagon are our first priority. We can deal with these problems at range if need be, and if they close, then we'll...
And the wagon ahead of the group of you stops, and you hear Imandu call back, and he says, "What's the holdup?"
You've got guest up ahead, about 300 meters or so.
And as you say that, Dillian, you will see Exile of Garenfort basically like sigh, and he doesn't get up. He just puts a hand on his knife, and actually, like, because it's this bare-bladed, rusty knife, and he doesn't have a sheath for it. It's just slipped through his belt, and he just unsheaths it, or takes it out of the belt, I guess, and just puts it in his lap. But he doesn't get up. He's just still like, and like waiting for the next 2 minutes down the line when you make another noise.
Yeah, are we continuing to travel?
No,
still?
like both wagons have stopped.
Oh, okay. Then that I won't do what I was going to do.
You won't annoy him in a new and interesting way.
Yeah, exactly. They're 229 meters away, 228 meters away, 227 meters away. But I guess I won't. So I'll just start
Asshole.
I'll take out my kukri, put it on my lap, and start tapping my boot with the kukri.
Okay.
Incessantly.
Why? Why are you like this?
Can't tell you.
Aaron's told me I got too much energy.
Do you ever get nervous before a fight?
No.
I do.
Are you saying that to Exile?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you give me a diplomacy check at like a -6?
Sure. Let me make sure I do this right.
Show me the nat 20. Just 'cause I know it'll be
me
terrible.
20.
Indeed, put it down.
Yeah, put it down.
Hey, not that.
Yeah, you get no answer. Why are you the wagon?
Why am I the wagon?
I don't know, man. Live your life the way you want to live it.
There's clones up ahead.
I'm not
Yeah.
judging you. I'm just saying it's weird.
It is weird.
He does not answer you. You have been too annoying to converse with. You are not a person
Okay.
at this point. You're just an annoyance. You're like a hangnail
Alright.
with boots.
It's true. So since he's not responding, I'll just keep talking because it's hard to tune out your ears.
This man's gonna fucking murder you.
He's gonna try.
He was going to wait till you're sleeping.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey John, give us some recurring NPCs. All right, here's one. I'm gonna piss him off.
I never signed up for recurring NPCs.
Okay, so for those who are out of the wagons, you can all see this. Hold on, I just heard a lot of noise. Was that my mic or somebody else's?
Well, that was me covering my mic.
Okay.
My wife the bedtime is upon my child, and he's resisting.
The rebeddening.
The rebeddening.
So yeah, for those who are outside of the wagon, you see Cordit walk up a ways in the road, and he walks up to the old ewes. Let me delete this. He walks up a ways in the road, about 50 or so meters ahead of the wagons, and you see him pull out the bow that he has on his back. He quickly strings the bow. He reaches up to the quiver that he carries, and you see him kind of like feeling around in all the arrows, like feeling the feathers, and then he takes one out and he does this like that aim that turns into a volley aim. So it's sort of like he pulls it back to his ear and then he raises the bow really, really high and he lets loose with the arrow. And then he starts sort of walking back and just turns, and he kind of like crosses his arms over his chest, and he just seems to be standing there, just sort of waiting and just waiting and just waiting. While this is happening, are the rest of you doing anything?
Zorak is loading a shot and readying to fire at anything that looks hostile and moves too close.
Okay, sounds good.
Sharut is pondering the usefulness of that woman's weapon.
Do you guys know why she has that weapon?
No, I don't.
It's because of all the shit that you gave me about my hatred for the double scimitar.
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
not a double
fantastic.
scimitar.
Yeah, it's worse.
I love it.
Heavy, unwieldy, and presents itself unable to provide enough strength to cleave things.
Yeah,
Sharut leans over to Dandarin and says,
Sharut think that would not be very useful on
I
battlefield.
can't wait
How-
until
Oh,
she
it-
hits every hit.
It's terrible. It's every time her kin in the Ironroot Mountains, Hoarfrost, you show up with those axes, the boys just kind of laugh.
How to swing with both sides. Make
Well,
little sense.
you hit one person really, really hard, and then you lose one of your hands. That's how it works.
This
Or
seem-
your entire arm if you put it under your shoulder.
this seems very poor battles. No wonder not used.
She's gonna crit every single time. Just murder.
Really
I
cool.
can't wait to see it.
Oh, that's another crit. and
Gotta be so
confirmed,
good.
And I leave, and oh look, another crit.
we
What's Sharut doing standing there?
we were playing a Pathfinder game with, I think it was with Kat, and we were playing like 6th level characters, and we went up against like 2nd level orcs or something like that, and one of them crit, and Andrew rolled like an 11, a 10, and a 12 on the 3d12 for the Great Axe crit, and like her 6th level rogue just died, just like ceased to be.
Oh,
Man.
And she was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, like Great Axes suck. They don't crit very often, but when they do, like, you know, you know that it happened.
Your next character feels.
So anyway, you guys are waiting for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then eventually an arrow starts sort of flying, kind of in Cordit's general direction, and it just lands kind of like right over here, and he goes over and picks it up, and then walks over and starts talking to Amandu. Like, he shows him the arrow and starts talking to Amandu. Dillian, unless the rest of you are like making an active, like actively trying to hear what's going on, Dillian's the only one that can actually like get a chance at this. So, Dillian, would you like to give me a perception check? And anyone else who is moving closer, the same.
Sure. Ooh, was gonna type that into Twitch. That ain't gonna work.
I wonder if it will work. Nope. Unrecognized command /roll. Damn, dude.
I do the perceiving.
Yeah. So, Cordit walks over and he holds up the arrow and he shows it to Amandu, and Amandu goes, "And what does that mean? Do they mean to attack us?" And Cordit goes, "No, mate. They're just hunters out of the Knack. They were chasing a stag into the trees, or into the copse of trees. That's why we saw them." And Amandu says, "Do they mean to attack?" And he says, "No, mate. They're just chasing a stag into the trees. That's what the arrow means. They're just hunters. We can just keep moving." And you see him take the arrow, and he kind of like starts undoing the fletching. And as he walks away, he starts unstringing his bow, and then he starts adding his own fletching to the sort of shaft of the arrow, just kind of like keeping his hands busy as he's going.
Yeah, repurposing the arrow for himself.
Pretty much.
Cool.
And then Dandrin and the rest of the group, Amandu calls back, apparently it's safe, according to the scout."
All right. Sounds good. Let's get on getting on.
All right.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
I love
Let's
it.
get on getting on.
I have rolled. I just want to
Immediately
clarify.
breaks the wheel.
I just want to clarify. I have rolled a total of 4 times tonight. That is 2 once.
Wheel breaks.
Wow.
Someone's gonna opt at this crits.
You know what?
I should go to
Yeah,
jail.
actually,
Oh, wait.
let's see how bad this is. Can you give me another one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you start pulling the wagon forward, and there's this crack, and then you're pretty sure the wheel's not broken, but you're pretty sure that it will be if you continue. It definitely needs some work. The spot that you stopped was apparently the precise wrong spot to stop in.
Son of a.
And immediately hearing the sound, hops off the wagon and goes to check.
Yeah, so basically it stopped, the wagon wheel stopped right in front of this rock, and then when he sort of snapped the reins, the 4 donkeys just moved real quick, and the way that the wagon wheel went around the rock, it has essentially displaced a number of the spokes on the wheel. It's fixable, but it would take some time.
Engineering check
To do what?
the wheel, or is that more?
So, like, understand what I'm saying. If you fix it, you stop. If you keep going, it breaks later. Do you fix it? If you do, you
Is there a
should
way
tell
to
the
show you bring it
driver.
to the
Stop.
driver?
Stop. If you do, you should tell the driver. Like, there's steps here.
Yeah. Okay. Sharut says to Dendron, "Spokes broke. If not fixed,
Oh.
will break later."
All right. Let me stop the wagon.
Sharut relays the information to the other wagon, so they don't.
Okay. Yeah. You go over and Amanda goes, You can't be serious. We have to keep going. How long will it take you?
That I don't know. Sometime.
Well, if we have no other choice, then we have no other choice. But this may mean that we don't reach Jagger's Knack by nightfall. Do try to be quick. Do.
Sharut, see what.
Dandrin will also get off to go check the wheel.
Okay. So yeah, it's like I said, like basically the rock displaced a bunch of the spokes. Like there's a couple that are cracked. There's a couple that are just out of place. And at the moment, the wheel is still a wheel because it's still bound, but you just lost like about a third of the support on it.
Would it be faster to switch out that spare wheel that he has in the back?
Probably.
We should just do that then. And then
We'll swap
Sharuk
out the
can-
wheel and then we'll fix this one.
Yeah, Sharuk can repair the other one while we.
This is why we keep spares.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a. I don't think either of you have anything that's like farrier.
No, farrier is also more kind of like horses and saddle stuff, but
Yeah.
I can see it being used for this. Carpenter, maybe if the spokes are wooden.
Yeah. Do you have carpenter?
I have mason and blacksmithing. The only thing I could think of is a blacksmith. If I had the appropriate things, I could. It wouldn't help with replacing the wheel, but I could fix it with like if I had metal splints.
You guys,
I could potentially do that, but
you guys
but I
both have
couldn't drive the
engineering.
wagon.
I have knowledge engineering.
I also have knowledge engineering.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a knowledge engineering check. One of you can assist the other. It's up to you.
Hey, I'll assist you, Noah. Wait, let's see if I assist you. Hold on. Hey, I assisted.
There it is.
Look
Jesus
at that.
Alright,
You
so that's
can't
a-
do it on your own, Dandruin. You've got to ask for help.
My brother was all the help I needed.
Damn.
He just breaks
Oh
down.
shit. I assist, but he breaks down. God damn.
In
Damn you, Lumio.
in the
Hit me
crate,
right in the field.
in the crate in the back, you just hear my brother.
Oh no.
Okay, so yeah, replacing the broken wheel with the spare takes about a third of the time that it would have taken to fix the other wheel. So you guys are back and ready to go in about a half an hour.
Okay.
So
That's way better.
yeah. So speaking of Dandrin, you want to go ahead and give me that that handle animal check?
I swear to God.
Do I want to? No. Am I going to have to? Yes.
Ask for help, brother.
Our big ass professional driver here. All right, and you guys, and you're off. It is it's a pretty well traveled road. There's not a ton wrong with the road either. Like there's a couple of little dips. There's a couple rocks in the road, but it's not a ton of different road hazards. You
So you're
found
saying
like
I
the
marked it.
one rock.
Just right.
Yeah. So but yeah, you guys are you're passing a couple houses, little like farms, that sort of thing. You're able to see from the road that these are clearly farms because they either have a lot of all the same kind of animal or a lot of all the same kind of plant on these things. It's pretty easy to see the fields when everything's flat. And yeah, then you get to where you're sort of on your metaphorical journey. You're up here about halfway, and you have an option here of would you like to stop for lunch or would you like to keep going? Note that for those who are walking, you have been walking for about 4.5, 5 hours. There is the potential that you are really, really tired. So what would you like to do here?
Didn't lose that much time. But...
Only about half an hour.
So I think I'll ask the other wagon, but I think we can take a break for lunch and still make it, right?
And Amandu will tell you it might be possible. It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that we make it now. The longest part of the journey is New Seer to Jekker's Knack, but it might be, yes, maybe.
Would you suggest?
And he'll look at Zina, who sort of shrugs, and he'll look at Gever, who tries to shrug, but has been walking for 5 hours and is like, and he says, "It might be best to stop for a bit. If we have our guards too exhausted to do anything, then what's the point of having guards? It's probably best if we stop."
Then we stop.
Okay, so you all stop. We'll say that you make a nice little nice little campfire here and either cook out something or eat some rations.
Since
I bust out some rations, but I'll also bust out some ale.
since Sharut has been essentially sitting on his ass
Yeah.
for the last 5 hours, he's gonna scout around.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a. So when you say scout around, are you going anywhere in particular? You see that like probably about half a kilometer south of you is a farm, and about half a kilometer north of you is a very small copse of trees. It's like it has maybe 20 or 30 trees in it. Otherwise, you guys are sort of just in the middle of that.
I suppose he'd go towards the trees, since like the east and the west seem to just be
Okay.
right, because we'd probably be able to see anything that would come from. That's the only real place.
Sounds good.
So yeah, he'll scout out over in that direction.
Cool. When Sharut scouts, is what you're doing basically just looking for threats?
I suppose, or anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you sort of walk the 500 meters and get down to the tree. Or the trees. Sharut, tree stalker. Cool.
That.
So, while you're doing that, which takes a bit because your legs are small and you're walking, half a kilometer and then looking around a place and then walking half a kilometer back, the rest of you have a shockingly nice lunch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like extremely good. It's not like there's like, oh, we have like water skins and we're all eating hardtack and like somebody might have some like salt pork or something like that. Apparently Imandu's people eat right. And so you have wine, which is bottled, not just the cheap skin wine. You have actual meat, which Ashlis puts over a fire that she starts with a ray from her finger and starts sort of like roasting what basically looks to be about half a turkey. And yeah, Cordat goes to scout out a little bit, and then he returns from his scouting trip to the south with a small like cloth bundle with some berries in it. And so yeah, there's there's sweets, there's savory, there's wine, and none of it has that like terrible road flavor to it. Yeah. So for his part, Exile will basically cut off a slice of the meat and take a cup of the wine and just kind of like sit near the fire and eat and drink. Zena will sit near anyone that's not Delian and be extremely friendly, but Delian out-friendlies her in the most annoying way, so she doesn't like to do that. Ashlis will eat with anyone, but to be honest, the one that seems to actually intrigue her is Zerkt. So Ashlis would like sit near you and basically do a lot of like awkward looks, but not say much. She just kind of like, takes a bite and looks at you, and when you look back, she looks away, and then she chews the bite that she forgot that she took a couple seconds ago. It is off-putting.
At some point, like Saracta's just gonna stand up, and I'm doing this because I'm playing those things that I took. She'll just walk over, just take that extra step, and hiss, "Are you Silver Flame? Because I will gut you."
Jesus.
Hold on, wait. Let me put the right person there.
There we go.
And Ashlis looks a little surprised at this. Clearly, she kind of like backs up a little, and she's like, "No, I'm not Silver Flame. No. I wouldn't even believe in that nonsense.
That's good.
A fucking candle? No."
I'm watching. And then Zarek will go back to eating her
Okay.
away.
She doesn't look at you as often, but she's still doing it. There's still like, chomp chomp, take a bite, stare at Zerax out of the corner of your eye. She's making a nice play of actually looking at something that is not you, that's like off over in this direction, so that she can just keep sort of looking at you out of the corner of her eye, and then as soon as your head turns, she's like, "No, I'm looking at those flowers over there. Like, see all those flowers? Like, look how nice they are."
I'm just gazing off wistfully into this distance, and it happens to be within 15 degrees of your direction.
Yeah,
These flowers over here, they're beautiful, just like your eyes. I mean, damn it.
She's playing. She's playing that like annoying sort of like I'm not touching you game, but with eyesight. It's a weird thing to be a part of. So Dandrin, Amandu is going to once he's got his food and it seems like the horses are, they're like fed and watered and all that stuff. He'll walk over to you, who's probably having to do the same thing with the donkeys, and he says, "Well, it seems like it seems like we're making good time. I'm sorry if I came off as terse earlier. I apologize. I don't want to be on the road the road's dangerous at night."
I understand. No worries. We'll get there in time. Don't you dare fret there. And Dandruff will just go back to eating his Dwarven Trail rations, which are explicitly flavorful and just basically like sausages.
It's
The
just
dwarves
sausage.
treat it it's sausages and like mushrooms
Yeah.
and like, yeah. And so it's like a really flavorful melody of those things. And then I've got Dwarven, like real good Dwarven stout ale. Because Greta and Dandrin knew how to go on the road properly for dwarves anyway.
It's half we know how to go on the road properly, and half like we don't ever want to struggle. Struggle is bad.
Living underground's hard enough. Just give me my sausages. So, we have arrangements already pre-made. Are we going to have to figure those out at the town?
Prince Orgev has given me money to see to the arrangements for his wagon, but he said nothing about yours. I assumed that you were handling
That's
that
why
yourself.
I'm confirming with you now. No bother. I just needed to know.
Oh, well, yes, I assumed you were handling. And yeah, he'll sort of go back to like kind of quietly eating, and then after a couple minutes he goes, I heard about your brother. I'm sorry. It's
Appreciate it.
I've lost more of my own kin than I can really count. I hope it works out for you, and that whatever your family is able to do for him, that you get him back.
I hope that too.
just sobbing into a sausage.
Does he just eat his pain away?
Yeah.
I hate the pie.
Just eat his pain away. It's a legitimate strategy. I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah. It's too real for Andy.
Famous Dwarven recipe. Crying makes the sausage taste better.
The salt really brings out the flavors.
It really brings out the other salt.
So
That's so stupid.
Dwarven
The
tears
salt
add
really
spice.
brings out the salt.
Lumio,
Mm-hmm.
while you're sort of like, what do you do during meals when everyone else is eating? That's like an interesting question, because Warforged don't need to eat.
Don't need to. Generally, he will carry on a conversation with whoever is willing.
Okay.
He's often interested in people's homelands and descriptive, since he isn't far traveled at this point.
Okay.
Remarkable sights. And then he also has a fascination with the implementation of magic in all forms to kind of understand it better and theorize and create other experimental versions for himself.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, because yeah, I was wondering like, what do you do? Like, do you just go like, well, I'll be crying over here?
I don't have tear ducts, but gosh, I'll try.
The plates of his face just sort of clench up, and then he goes like, "Oh God."
What have I done?
Yeah.
You didn't have a parent
Oh,
to
no,
tell him
they are
his face
stuck.
was thick that way.
Zeno will come to eat with the two of you, and she just has this like honkin' turkey leg in her hand, and even though the wine seemed to have come in a bottle, she is bringing a skin because the skin seems to hold more than the cups do.
Smart.
And she just kind of like walks over and then plops, like sort of slams the axe into the ground, so that it's just standing straight up, and then plops into the ground in front of it, and goes. She doesn't have much in the way of like manners, so all of this is said through a very full mouth, while the back of her hand just gets slowly more greasy because she just keeps like wiping her mouth after every bite. So there's a lot of that going on while she's talking. But yeah, so she sort of
It's
sits.
not a bother to me
Yeah.
because I've seen Stalwart eat.
Yeah, you've seen Stalwart taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, she sits down, takes a huge bite, like doesn't start talking immediately, takes a huge bite, starts chewing, and then looks at you and does this like motion with her finger where she's like pointing at the two of you back and forth really fast, and she goes, "So how'd the two of you meet?"
Are we
I
considered
was-
roommates if we share a tent?
I'd say a tent's a
You
room.
occupy my tent. I do not share it with you necessarily. I also have no reason for using my tent
Tomato,
most of the
tomato.
time.
And she goes, she kind of like laughs and takes a long drink out of the wineskin, and then releases a equally long burp, and then looks at you, Lumio, and she goes, "I had a similar thing happen to me once, with like a dog, and then after a while, I just considered it to be my dog. So congrats, you got a half elf."
I do not. Looks at Ringer. Looks back at her.
Ringer is briefly like panicked by that sentence.
I figure that at one time or another you had a really good dream and woke up as a different person
Oh yeah, that's definitely
and
happened.
carried on with the conversation as if you had not changed because you did not know.
Yeah, I didn't have a mirror in front of me because it's a tent.
Exactly. And so Lumio put 7 and 8 different times of this happening together and realized that you're all the same person and he's being quote unquote strung along.
Ah,
But you, in his way, he doesn't understand that you've changed your attitude in any way, shape, or form.
Wonderful.
so and then he like takes another big bite and looks at you, Ringer, and she goes, "You're pretty young. Did you serve?"
Serve. Oh, in the military? No. They tend to be a bit more regimented
Ah,
than what I'm used to.
so merc work.
Not exactly.
Ah.
I just like struggled and then finally found something.
And she kind of like arches a little eyebrow, and she goes, and it's like kind of quiet, and she goes, "Bandit work?"
No.
Ah, all right. Yeah. And Lumia, what?
I like the idea of this happening, and she's thinking like, I don't know, did you kill men? Like, were you in like, did you march in formation? Like, did you fight in the, and like, he's just thinking about the last time he threw a cup at somebody and killed them with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like-
just like, not really, no.
I grew up on streets so shitty that they wouldn't actually recruit you into the military from those. And Tim's like, wow, that's a really bad place because they'll recruit you into the military from anywhere. Yeah. And then Lumio, she kind of like takes probably the last big bite that this bone has, and then she kind of like points the bone with like a couple hanging tendons at the sort of like big power thing on your chest, and she goes, "What's that do?"
Well, very simply, and Lumio like points at a rock and just makes it explode somewhere in this area. Is it not doing the clicky thing where
You have
something
to
explodes?
hold X and then click.
So yeah, somewhere over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, you see her eyes get wide. She looks really happy about that, and she's like, you can just do that?"
If I choose. I can do other things as well.
If I
Yeah.
I'm
If-
learning to craft it into something more useful.
and she kind of like looks behind her and then looks at you and goes like, "Yeah, I've been there."
Okay.
Yeah. If
And,
Romeo had active eyebrows, one of them would be up.
No, you don't understand. My magic's useful as is. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like your axe. Yeah. No. Yeah. Sure.
I want to get in a battle now so I can buff her. She would like that, I think. And then she would understand.
So,
You shall see. You shall all see.
while that's happening, Dillian, Cordic comes back with that sort of like bushel. It's like a little. It's basically just a piece of cloth that has some berries in it, and he sort of puts it over by the fire. And he comes over and he gets on a knee and he kind of starts whispering to you, and he goes, "Found something."
Cloth? I see that.
Well,
Handkerchief.
Handkerchief? I need one.
Damn it.
I saw it coming.
and he goes, "Well, you can have that one when everyone's done with it,
Ah, thanks.
but you might want to see where it came from."
Alrighty. Where do I need to get up?
Yeah, let's go scouting.
Okay. I'll have you know that I'm not a scout, but I will follow nonetheless.
This is just murder in the woods. It's
You
fine.
you know that you were added to this thing as a scout, so like you're sort of like scout / artificer is what they were told. Like, he does a lot of weird shit.
It's like you were signed up as a scout. Then that's what I am.
Wait, hold on. The numlock works, right? Nope. Arrows do, but it's awkward.
Okay. Oh God. No.
Anyway, he
I broke it. It's not working now.
he takes you over here, and you can kind of see it. It looks like it's been covered, but he's pointing it out where like there's little tracks on the side of the road where
Alright.
something has sort of gone into the grass over here. So basically,
Oh, we backtracked.
no, I'm drawing it for you. He's pointing out that there's like this going on,
Okay.
but something has tried to hide it, and then it goes a little bit farther and a little bit farther.
I can't actually get up there. There's a wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like an attempted token movement collides with at least one wall.
Oh, I forgot that I put walls there. This is back when I was fucking with walls. How about if there weren't walls anymore?
I don't know. What would that even look like?
Yeah. Is that better? You should be able to do
It'll
it
grow
now.
flat.
Fantastic. I'm just trying to keep my immersion up. That's all.
No, you're good. So yeah, he's sort of pointing them out to you, and then you guys go this way, and then there's like a little.
Oh, we sure do.
There's a little dip over here where the ground is a little bit lower,
Okay.
and in this area you essentially see a wagon. Like there's a wagon right there.
Sure is.
And it looks like it has pretty much been like shattered and thrown on its side. It's on its side. It's because of how tall prairie grass can be, it's pretty much completely hidden from the road. And
Okay.
you see like faint burn marks where it looks like something tried to light this on fire, or maybe it burned for a little while, but it doesn't look like it burned very long or fully. And scattered around are a couple of bodies. And he goes, "So, yeah, handkerchief's yours if you want it."
Oh, thanks. Well, how old do you think this is? Should we get moving or?
And he says, "I think my estimates put it at about a week, maybe. It's hard to tell. It rained a couple days ago."
Well, have you poked around the entire area?
I did a lap, found what I could. It looks like almost everything was either taken out of the wagon or broken, so it couldn't be taken any farther. But yeah, it's not looking good.
No. Maybe we have everyone eat a quicker lunch.
I think we should. And you want to update Amandu and the other driver on this?
Yeah. How, yeah, I'll do that.
I'm going to go down to that copse, climb the tallest tree that I can, and see if I can see anything.
You cop?
You a cop? You have to tell me.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
So yeah, you start walking back that way, but he starts walking more northerly. Sharut.
Yee.
Yeah. So you were looking around this copse of trees.
Yee.
And what you find is there's a lot of signs of struggle without there being any sort of remnants of it. So you're seeing a lot of things like blood on the ground, or like pools where it might have been. You're seeing things like,
Sorry.
you're
Go ahead.
seeing things like a couple of like broken links from chainmail. You've found like a couple of pieces of wood that, based on their size and shape, you don't think just fell off the tree. These are probably like throwing clubs. But you're not seeing like bodies or anything like that. So something has happened in this area within the last you'd give it a week.
You say there's blood on the ground?
So it's like the remnants of blood. It's like blood was spilled here a while back, and it's where, like, a tree bends just so that the rain a couple days ago didn't fully wash it away. It's not like there's fresh blood, so you can be like, and it was Colonel Mustard in the conservatory. It's not like fresh.
Can I use
Goddamn
Can I
Colonel
use
Mustard.
my heal check to determine like an approximate time, or am I only getting bit about 7?
You can use a survival check to potentially get a bit more information. You can't use a heal check on it, no. Like, what you're seeing is dread blood. Yeah, so what you're sort of able to put together is that this actually happened about, you would put it at based on the marks that you're finding because of rain, and where you're seeing some like boot prints and stuff. Once you start looking around a little bit more, you're putting it at about 8 days ago.
Okay. Sharut is going to pick up some of the shattered chainmail he found and run back towards the wagons.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you're running back, and Delian, what would you like to do?
I'm just kind of like heading right back to like what I was told to do.
Okay. So you head over to Amandu and Dandarin?
Yep.
All right. And yeah, you see Amandu is in this really weird position where he's eating his turkey and Dandarin's eating his sausage, and like you've never seen a man sort of like longingly cry while eating a sausage before. That's a little weird. But yeah, when you get back, Amandu looks at you and says, what is it?
This whole scene just looks really sad. Like, I'm getting sad looking at it, so I'm really happy to break this up. We should probably get moving sooner rather than later. We found a wagon just up the way there. It's pretty torched, looks like, and busted up, and a couple of dead bodies.
Okay, let's go. So as he starts running back, Zarekt, Forsend moves to you and says, "Get back in the wagon."
Yep, that's what I do.
And you all see one lone goblin come to attack you all. Sharut, roll initiative.
I always knew we couldn't trust him.
Damn those bodies.
Can never trust a damn gobble.
One lowly goblin decides, I'm gonna kill them all.
Sharut can't do this. They not that
Well-
right.
Oh my god.
Sharut have power of God and enemy on his side.
I love goblin logic. They're not too bright. I can take them. Goblin logic is the best.
They're not too bright. Look at them. Not one of them on fire.
Look at that axe. How swing? No swing.
No swing. Easy target.
Yeah, so Bowen climbs in the back with Seract, and then Coralie and Forsen basically put themselves between the downed wagon and Dandarin's wagon. And then Sharut, as you're running back, it looks like everybody else is ready to go, and they're getting ready to go with a lot of speed.
Looks like our Dino. And he just hops up in the passenger side of the wagon.
Okay.
Found loads of
Gabo!
Get him.
He's trying to get the horses.
Thought you could sneak up on me, eh?
And then
Found signs of struggle about 8 days.
And then everybody starts riding away with some haste. Dandarin, can you please give me that check at a -1 for the speed of it?
Why you like this?
Because
Why?
it amuses him.
Because he likes to watch you suffer. We've been over this.
Yeah.
Jeez, here we go.
This is just for all the times when Gruddick messed up and you're like, I should have tried. And then...
That's exactly what this is.
Sir, he rolled a 14. Start killing bothans.
Last time I sent Bothans to do anything. Sent Bothans to get me coffee. All dead.
All dead.
How many bothans died to bring us this information? None, sir.
A lot.
None at all. Start killing bothans. That was like I think a VG Cats. It was like a VG Cats comic from like a decade ago, and it's I love the jokes about like comical Palpatine, because Palpatine is all comedy. Like
He is.
he's just like, I'm gonna make quips while I electrocute you.
It's so good.
He just like zaps Luke and he's like, haha, power company, fill in the rest. Yeah, you guys start racing off at all speed, which the donkeys maintain for 4-5 minutes. They're just like, oh shit, everyone's real scared, let's go. And then basically by the time you get to the trees, they're like, nah, we're done with this. We're done. This sucks.
As is the right of the donkey.
As is the right of the donkey.
Okay.
And yeah, you guys move with a bit more haste. There's a bit more of a feeling of we've got to actually like get to Jacker's Knack by nightfall. So with that in mind, for the people who aren't in the wagon, which I believe is Ringer, Lumio, and then a couple of my NPCs, can you please give me fortitude checks?
Sure.
So there's going to be a number of these, and
Is this poison or mind affecting?
this is not poison or mind affecting. These are
Okay.
exhaustion checks for
Gotcha.
basically a lot of force marching, which
Turns out having a light lunch helps.
I don't even know if Lumio can get exhausted.
I don't believe I can, but
Like, that wouldn't make sense to me, honestly.
He gets a plus
it's
2
not
to his.
programmed into my
You
sheet
get
in
a
the
plus
thing.
2 to your save against exhaustion. So give me your standard fortitude save with a plus 2.
As soon as
Yeah.
I get logged in there.
The living construct template isn't as strong as it was in 3.5, because in 3.5 Warforged were immune to like half the rules.
Yeah, and that was really, really
think-
dope.
Yeah, that
They
was. Let's go back to
template,
those
yeah.
days.
So good. Apparently, it's just a 1.
So roll at plus 3, I guess.
Hey,
Okay.
That ain't bad.
no,
So, you guys. Actually, I will roll for Giver and for Cinna. They're both fine. Yeah, you guys keep going at a pretty good clip. No real stopping for breaks or anything. At this point, if somebody really wants to stop, the wagons will do it, but everybody's kind of on guard, weapons out, and then they're going and going and going. And after about another 5 hours of doing this, you see the crest that makes Jacker's Knack off in the distance. It's basically like the road keeps going and it's pretty flat, and then there's just this kind of like one little hill, and on top of the hill you see you can see a couple of buildings, like city buildings, and you also see a small copse of trees, and there's a cliff that looks to the east, and so there's buildings that are on the cliff, and then there's buildings that are below the cliff. So I will actually show you the city as you're sort of seeing it from the road. So you guys are down here, like far to the south.
No
see that.
vision. Sorry.
Can't see. Need a token.
Oh, is it one of those?
Yep.
No one can see until you guys have tokens. Okay. Let me get tokens for everybody. I keep forgetting that the game is set up that way. Sorry about that. Better?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, because I can see myself.
Why do you see nothing?
Yes.
Token vision, fog exploration, save changes. What about now?
Oh, I see everything.
Yes, I can see.
So Foundry is really good. It has a lot of options, and that means that I know very few of them. So anyway, yeah, you guys are you're still at least about an hour south of this, but basically you have this sort of big cliff here, and there's some buildings that are on it, and then there's buildings that are overlooking it, and it sees far off to the east, and it has like, you know, not a huge forest, but like the trees are a little bit denser around here too. So you guys basically keep going, and within about an hour, maybe a little bit more, you are riding into Jacker's Knack. And at that point, I think we're going to take a break, and we will come back in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you get sassy with me, boy.
Are you playing anything new?
Me?
Yeah.
Not really. I'm messing around with 3D printed files right now.
That's nice.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a Hammerhead Corvette printed out.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, how many of these pieces I'm going to need to print?
I always wanted to play, and it would be so much work, but I always wanted to play a game where the players are like members of a big ship crew like that, where there's like 100 people on board, and actually write out like the 100 people on board.
That is a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And then if, you know, a crew member dies or something like that, you just be like, well, I guess I'm playing Ensign Thomas now, and you just like play a different dude.
That's kind of what Never Going Home's all about. When your dude dies, you just immediately pick up another dude.
Yeah, that sounds kind of neat.
I kind of like that. It makes you sort of invest because you want to see how long you can go. It's very roguelike, I would say.
Yeah. I ran a game once when I was still in Colorado. Mike was part of it, and everybody made a character, and then I switched them all. Basically, all the characters were on the table, and we gave each characters from a different world, and I put like basically a little placard on all of them that said the character's name, character's profession, not their class, their profession, and what world they're from. And you were allowed to pick anybody but the one that you made. And so like I think Mike ended up, he made like a Knight of the Round Table.
I made a mercenary from Earth.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like he made like an actual like knight. Like this is like a dude that existed or something like that. Like, hi, I'm a knight. I have a horse. My sword is masterwork, and my magic is fictional. Like, because he was a guy from Earth.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
I had armor. I had a horse. I had a lance and a sword and a shield and like servants with chests full of stuff. Because you gave me so much money.
And then one of the other characters I made was like, what was his name? Kaluman. And Kaluman was the avatar that was like 8 avatars before Aang. So he was like some Earth Nation dude who was on his quest to learn like fire mastery or whatever. But yeah, it was fun. And everybody made one, and then I made like 5 spares because I assumed that in the game there was going to be just a lot of like random death. It was going to be like, hey, you guys are like level 3 characters. Like, here's some level 8 monsters. Let's see what happens. Do you run? Do you outsmart them? Do you just die? Oh, you just died. All right, here's another guy. He's a small kid from Ravenloft. Let's see how this goes. But yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna put money on the small kid from Ravenloft. Ravenloft is fucked up. So
It's a harsh
Does he
place.
have a soul or not?
So the small kid from Ravenloft. So my write up for the small kid from Ravenloft is that he was the last good person in the plane. He was like the one person that was like truly innocent still. So I built him. This was a Pathfinder game. I built him as a summoner, and his class was the synchronous summoner. So basically, when he got scared, an angel with flaming sword arms summoned itself around him, and like he was probably just inside screaming like a Gundam pilot while the angel like murdered a bunch of.
Why do you say like a Gundam pilot?
Because Gundam pilots are always screaming at the top of their lungs.
I know, but why do you?
I made a character in a different game. This was a Dungeons the Dragony.
Oh, Mike, I know why.
I was playing the Gundam. Inside of the Gundam was the pilot.
Yeah.
So every now and then, Mike would be like, "You all hear screams coming from Mugnad's chest."
Oh, highly disturbing. It's great.
I was kind of hoping that my character died because I said that I was going to end up playing I was going to end up playing the pilot for the Gundam. Because I was like,
That would be fun.
look, just because you're a sentient robot now doesn't mean that the controls don't still work.
Yeah, you're the worst. I love it.
I think
I also choose this guy's wife for character, I guess.
yeah. So it'd be like, Mike, on your turn, what happens? Mugnad runs up and he hits him with his sword. All right, cool. John, on your turn, what happens? I make Mugnad run to the other guy and hit him with a sword.
Okay, well, that's not the worst option for this.
I think for that to work, wouldn't I have to have like a fuel stat?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, if you're at Gundam level, you're at like power core.
Nope, I like that better. Nuclear fuel.
Yeah.
Just runs on microwave juice.
I don't think
It's
that's how
literally the
nuclear fuel
juice of-
works.
It's literally the juice of microwaves. It's not.
I
Pulped
think that's how
microwaves.
nuclear works.
It's just hot dog water.
It's that's way worse.
Guys, I'm gonna buy the shit out of this thing. I'm excited.
What, hot dog water?
Yeah, the hot dog.
Yes,
hot dog
the
water
hot
really
dog
gets him
water.
going.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh man, hell yeah!"
Oh man, I love hot dog
Oh,
water.
It's so weird. Earlier, someone was like, Gengar pillow that you put your head inside of and it rolls out a long tongue. No, it's like, fuck it. Hot dog water. Where can I buy 5?
Yeah. Just 5.
I'll take a dozen.
It's that goblin logic. It's really taken
Oh,
hold.
he's getting a dozen? I'll take 36. That's like 3, right?
Love
You
it.
can math. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Oh, so speaking of bad math, John Eric, that meme you posted, it hurt my stomach so much. I was laughing so hard.
Wait, which one?
The one you posted in the tavern,
Oh, the math
Push
one?
the button.
the button one, dude. I
So that everybody
immediately-
knows what he's talking about.
I immediately ran over and I was like, Ashley, you need to see this. It is so good.
It would have been better if the numbers didn't add up.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it now and it's like this 100K is too good. Like if it said me winning 90 grand, would have been even better.
If it's still bad. That face is just so fucking good.
Just a little bit of tongue sticking out. Just a little bit. Not a lot. Not an obscene amount. That would be weird. Just a little bit.
All right.
Now you got Andy thinking about tongues and he's all hot and bothered.
Yeah, get some hot dog water. It'll cool you off.
Mike, when have I ever been not hot or bothered?
That's true.
I'm actually still on the side looking up. There's little tiny clamps that'd be perfect for what you're doing. I just gotta find them.
I mean, the things you sent me earlier sound like they could work.
Mhm.
We just need to figure out how to use them in my current setup.
All right. So it looks like everybody's back. I put a question in the can. Everybody answer it, please.
Okay.
I want you to do that on troll.
Nice. Thanks, man.
I'm here for you.
I can tell. You really pull through, you know.
You know, in that in the mod where you add this, it's like, do you want to give this ability to everyone? And I was like, no, I know who I play with. We're good.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, it's about 90 minutes after you guys first actually see the little crest, and then you are sort of riding into the small town of Knack. And it is Time wise, it would be between 6 and 7 p.m. So it's not daylight anymore. If you think about the day that it is right now in the calendar, it is Therendor the 25th, which is kind of like March the 25th. So yeah, 7 o'clock, it's dark. Amandu tells you, Dendron, he sort of like pulls his wagon or slows his wagon down a bit so that you can pull up alongside him, and he says, Dendron's
AFK, by the way.
Oh, is he still AFK?
Yeah, he just typed in.
We all
"Be right
came back and he said, be right back. Asshole. He comes up and he goes, we've got lodgings for our wagon up at the Round Bear up, and he sort of points up the hill, and he says, I don't know where you lot are staying, but you can try there, or you can find it somewhere else in town. And then his wagon starts moving up that way, and the place that they're going to is essentially this one right here.
Which one? That one? Right there?
It's that one right there.
Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, it's this guy.
This is a fairly small town, right?
This is pretty small. This is much smaller than New Seer. New Seer has a population of about 4,000. This one might have a population of about 500, maybe.
So it's not real likely that there's going to be another stay.
It wouldn't be unheard of. It's a town on a major road. So like towns on major roads tend to have inns, even if they only have a common room. They don't necessarily have like, oh, they're all private rooms. But yeah.
Would I be able to use knowledge local to know if there's
Yeah.
in here?
Go ahead. What you know is that on sort of the other side of this area, this is kind of the nice inn in town. There's one that's a little less nice at the bottom of the hill over here, and it is known as the Whisper, though the official name is the Fat Whisper.
Interesting.
Sharut says. Sharut leans back and calls to Zoract.
There is another tavern called the Fat Whisper down. Not as Roundbeck we should stay.
I'm very much of the opinion that stay away from the less. We're carrying cargo that might be of interest. Other important things, I'd rather not put them at risk unnecessarily.
Wise idea.
And Sharut taps Dandarin on the chest and points in the direction of the Round Bear.
Okay. Dandarin will say, my brother, and then he'll start driving this way.
You're spot on impression, Dan. Just it's shock and awe every time, sir.
Impeccable.
Impeccable. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother.
My brother.
It's just so good.
Yeah, 1 second here. It's weird when you make a copy of a place and then it doesn't show up. Go to this fucking map. Dude, Justin, it broke.
What'd you do? What did it do?
Oh, there. It finally put it on the thing.
All I had to do was ask about it, and it's like, oh shit.
Justin, help me.
Oh, things start working when you complain about them.
Yeah, it's the mechanic thing.
Yep.
I was literally on the phone with someone today, and it fixed right before their eyes. I was like, "That's not."
I hope they
not
were
possible, but I'm happy it did.
I hope they were like, well, you weren't lying, but you're a witch.
Yeah, I get called witch a lot at work.
Odd.
There we go. I will activate and figure to allow you all to see, which you should be able to see. Yes? Yes? No?
Waiting. No, not yet.
I see things.
Oh, now I see it.
Yay. Look at you guys seeing things like people who have sight and stuff.
Now it's flickering.
Yeah, it's so bad.
What about now? Did it stabilize?
No.
Well, I can see most of the map, but for like a third of a second.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let
Fine to
me
me.
activate this other one.
Oh, it's clearly broken because Mike can see it.
And then we're gonna activate Round Bear.
Okay.
Okay, how about now?
I'm gonna refresh. Maybe it's me.
Oh, this is really nice. Wow, this is really
There it goes. It fixed. Hey,
Ah.
try refreshing.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
That was a smart move.
correct in here.
A lot more rugs than I thought there would be.
Yeah, holy shit.
Well, in my
Um,
past job, there was a rug maker who died, and I took his stuff.
I took all of his stuff and I made a house out of it.
I wonder if they serve ditch water here.
Yeah. They
so
should be so lucky.
Uh, so yeah, you guys come up to you like come up this way, and Amandu gets off the wagon and says, I will go inside and make sure I'll get us I'll set things up. And then he kind of heads in, and then right behind him comes Dandrin and the boys, who are
Somewhere.
Yep. Sorry, grabbing everyone. There you go. And yeah, you, Dendron, are you going in to set up payment, or are you staying out? Is somebody else doing it? Who's doing what now?
I'll go in and I'll make a payment.
Okay.
We could also have Lumio go in.
Oh, yes. Lumio, please come with me. I need you to do the talky bits. I'll do the
Oh,
paying
right,
bits.
of course.
The talking bits.
Happily.
So yeah, when you guys come inside, who's doing what directly into their microphone?
It's not directly into my microphone. It's mic adjacent.
Yeah, but it's like you're crawling into bed.
somehow crawling into bed directly into his microphone.
Yeah.
What are his sheets made out of? Like,
We have to save it for
They've been
posterity.
starched, Noah. Don't ask.
are his sheets made out of like aluminum foil?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, please, that's a terrible conductor.
Do you live in a Twinkies wrapper? Like,
Oh.
what's going on? Okay, so yeah, you go in and it's busy because it's an inn/pub and it's nighttime. So people are here like eating, drinking, dancing. You hear some music from a guy who's playing near the hearth. He's got a double flute thing. So it's basically just a V of flutes, and he's playing them both at the same time. And
So he's got one of those weird panpipes.
yeah, well, it's not quite a panpipe. It's just double flute.
Yeah.
It's twice the
Like
flute.
the one
for-
you see out of like Dark Crystal or some shit?
Yeah, like one of those.
Yeah.
He's dual wielding flutes. Oh God.
Oh God, they got a dual wielding bard. We gotta leave.
We have to go right now. We have no chance.
And yeah, Dandrin and Lumio and Amando, you go up, and there is a sort of matronly looking half orc woman behind the bar, hair sort of pulled up in a bun that has probably was tight at one point but has frazzled a little bit, and she's got a span of about 10 glasses in front of her that she's filling from like various pitchers, and occasionally popping under kegs and then setting them all on separate trays. And when you come in, she kind of looks at the three of you, and it's sort of like dwarf, warforged, human, and then she, all right, which he is in charge, and who do I talk to?
That would be me. Does she look like the type that would feel like a little bit of flattery would go a long way?
Since motive?
It's not a thing I have. Okay.
Well, then roll it.
All right.
Oh dear.
Oh God.
I ain't afraid of you, Dice. I should be, after all you've done to me. But I ain't afraid.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, all right.
She,
Well, I'm going to lather it on thick.
yeah, maybe a little bit. All right, I'm gonna make sure she thinks I'm creepy. Sure.
Have you ever
Let's
seen
make
like
the orc blush.
an Arabian salesman, how they heap praises on you that you have not earned in any way?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I have
that's what
traveled
I'm
to
doing.
Turkey. I have had random people walk up to me, put an arm around me, and go, "My friend, I have the finest sandals you have ever seen in your entire life."
Yeah,
It's
Really?
that's
yeah.
That's what
Like
happened.
it is. It's a fun thing to do, is to like go to like the shops there, and people aggressively haggle with you
Mhm.
for absolute trash items.
Yeah,
It's pretty
just-
fun.
Is it fun to just go, sure? And they're like, no, you do this wrong.
So they start very high, assuming that you're going to haggle. And if you don't, then they're just happy to sell you this.
An overpriced item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes, she looks at you, and sort of like, you're obviously not from here. Like, you're not just a Warforged, but you're a Warforged who's got all these weird trinkets, and there's like a power center in your core and stuff. And she's like, are you the group from New Seer?
I see that word travels quickly that we have arrived.
And Amandu kind of like glares at you and says, I am leading the group from New Seer. I am here for the keys to our rooms and to make a payment. They are also from New Seer, but they are not on my reservation. And she puts a handful of keys, like she reaches under the bar, puts a handful of keys on the bar, and just sort of holds them there until he slides a couple of coins across. And then she lets go, and he takes the keys and kind of like just looks at you and like and moves outside. And she's like, so you are the group from New Seer?
Apparently there are two of us, and he wishes to be separate from us. 'Tis no matter on my place. We have traveled far, and would some of us require lodging for the evening, as well as safety of your barn for our animals.
Well, with that happening, I've only got 6 rooms left.
That will be
Two of them are doubles, so they're a bit cheaper. And then, 3 of them are doubles, so they're a bit cheaper. And then 3 of them are the suites, so those are a bit more expensive.
how many people do we have?
You have 6.
6? Oh, that will be more than sufficient. And on the matter of the
Don't we have
Barn?
3 more?
Oh yeah, that's true. You also
Yep.
You also do have the Deneth Sentinels. I forgot about them. Sorry.
so 9. Are we talking like this, and this?
So
We're kinda open? Or are you talking?
Let me show you. Basically, he has these. Imandu has those.
Oh.
Uh,
And these are the suites.
She is offering you these suites or these doubles.
That selected very nicely.
Actually, have a question about these right here. The ones like the rooms next to the barn.
Yeah.
Takeable?
Those are for like the staff at the inn.
Oh, okay.
Same with this one is this one's the chef's and this one is hers. So yeah.
So we'll take the 3 doubles and one of the suites. I don't think we need more than that. That's Zarak, you'll probably take the suite with your guards, probably, I would think, and then the doubles, and then if we need another, we may request it shortly. I shall confer with my party, and then we have. Is it 6 donkeys or 4?
It's 4.
4. We have 4 donkeys and a wagon. We would require food and lodging for them as well.
And she tallies it all up and she goes, the suite's 3 gold or 3 Galifar. Each of the doubles that you want, if you want the whole room, that's gonna be a Galifar. They're 5 sovereigns apiece. And you say 4 donkeys?
I do.
Each of the 4 donkeys is gonna be 2 apiece. So that's gonna be it'll put you at 6 Galahar and 8 sovereigns. The wagon, you'll just have to find a safe place to keep it, but I recommend you put it between the barn and the main building.
I appreciate the recommendation.
I want you to know I'm not responsible if somebody breaks into it.
Absolutely. We have other ways of dealing with that.
Can you give me a diplomacy check?
Yeah. Will that do, sir? 19?
That will. By your flattery of this tusked innkeeper, you are not able to necessarily lower the price of the room, but you are able to get like you're paying for room. She's basically including board. So
Extra.
she will be like, yeah, I might be able to find a bit of stew to toss in if you've been on the road a long time. So get your donkeys handled and then get your crew in here, and I'll feed them for you.
That is much appreciated. Thank you. And he does a kind of courteous bow, and Dandarin, if you would.
Well, that sounds lovely.
Thank you.
I pay.
Okay.
And I'll go see.
And I'll tip a Galifar.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I think I got the math on that wrong. It's actually
Could be more expensive.
no. It's. Or no, wait. 3 plus 3. Yeah. So sorry, I got it right the first time. There you go.
Ah.
I'm so glad that we're using something that is a purely tins-based system instead of whatever fucking British shit that Warhammer 40k or Warhammer 40 uses.
Do
'Cause
not remind me.
the
The best thing
it's
is
12 pennies to turn into 1 shilling and 20 of those to turn into
Pound. And then
or
200.
Eric could just ignore that and say, "I fixed it, and we use regular tens-based system." But no, Eric doesn't do that. Why,
Correct.
God? Why?
Suffer for your sins.
So yeah, they you guys are able to sort of put all your horses away, and they sort of move the wagons so that basically one wagon is kind of like facing this way, and the other one is sort of has its back facing it, so that a guard, if they wanted to, could watch the back of both. Everybody goes in and like sits down, starts eating. You guys have food. You have live music. Your donkeys have not live hay, but it must still be good, I assume. They're eating
He
it.
ate it, so. Yeah.
If you want, there's a little bit of time to like run around Checker's Knack and see some stuff, and like you can like go see the lodge, or you can see like, oh man, I can see so far to the east from up here, because you can. But it's a town that, according to the knowledge rolls that you guys made before, it's good for getting sort of like hunting equipment or like natural sort of stuff. So if you're somebody who's like, I want leather armor, you can probably find like leather or masterwork leather here. If you're like, I want trinkets carved of deer antler, you can probably do that sort of thing. But yeah, Zeract is setting up bell trip lines. Where?
Let me get some more.
Because
fucking tavern.
Because according to what Lumio said, Zeract is staying in this room.
Yeah, that's true. But she's gonna have the bodyguards doing a nightly rotation.
Okay.
So assisting them with that is gonna be offering.
Okay, cool.
Now, I do know that there's an outhouse there.
I
Presumably
should double check with the whole party to see if that is enough rooms for everyone. Because that's 8 beds technically, so there's one short.
Well,
You don't
assuming-
sleep.
I don't.
Assuming 3 of the sisters are going to be on a rotation.
Yeah.
You said subtract 1.
Yeah.
So you should be.
If we think of it as, where did Ringer go?
He's in bed.
It's already asleep.
This guy,
So
Legitimately don't know where you put me.
Shrewd.
this guy.
We're pointing.
And for the most part, I assume Lumio would be okay staying in the common room, studying or something along those lines.
Okay.
Who am I kidding?
You're paying for your own room.
I paid for one of the suites, so
You walk in and the bed is at your chin height.
right.
Oh.
Actually, did I pay for one? I only paid for one of the suites, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Zeract is getting it. Fresh him.
Damn it.
I will do just that.
Absolutely, Bow.
Do it.
Zeract, you must roll the craft check, please.
Since we're going for our rest, I do need to declare this now. What do people want for tomorrow's maintenance on their stuff?
Armor.
Same stuff.
Can I get a?
I'm taking a C.
Can I get Sharut to help with the survival check on that? And by that I
Yeah.
mean, can I get Sharut to make the survival check and see if I can assist?
I set bell traps. Okay, how do you do that? I make Sharut do it.
Sharut do it. So luckily, Sharut is out by the wagons getting the wheel anyway, because he's got to fix that later. And yeah, all right, survival.
So I'm gonna check to see if I can explain it well enough.
Yeah. Delian was
No.
probably gonna
Nope.
be out there working on some stuff anywho.
But she'll give you maybe the gist and then kind of leave it up to you.
Sharut got this.
So he pays no attention to her and says something else.
What we should do is make like a spider web, right? And then they'll get stuck. Shut up, Zeract.
Spider-Man sound effect.
Why is Zeract just a bumbling idiot?
No, that's just the voice that I go to when somebody is a bumbling idiot.
Not necessarily your voice, but yeah.
Roll.
All right. So the idea is that like one of the guards will be there.
Like
at
they
all.
would rotate in and out. Okay. Is anyone
they'll
else going to be doing that?
Like, I don't mind joining in on that rotation.
Oh, you don't have a choice in it. You're not part of their wagon though. You
Oh,
are
well,
you are
that's true.
going to be rotating through the other wagon.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
They're both highlighted. The wagon's coming with me to bed. I have no way of unhighlighting.
Wow.
I don't know what happened.
By the way, the way to
Yeah, he vetted
unhighlight
the wagon.
the way to unhighlight is to hit the escape key.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know. No, it's just telling me to reload application or log out.
Zeract will
We
swing
are
by-
one now.
She'll swing by at some point. But also like this... wow. This being a kind of a more wilderness sort of settlement, she's gonna try and do the community helping thing. Just kind of like walk around and introduce herself to the shifter community. If there are any, like, let them know that she's here and that she's available if they need to stop by, if they need to talk about the problem.
Okay.
Okay, thank goodness. That's
Cool.
better.
So you're just sort of walking around the town.
Yeah, just kind of spreading the word a little bit, and then if anybody comes up with anything, trying to see what she can do to help.
Okay. Give me a sense motive check, and then give me a diplomacy check. Okay. You don't get the feeling that there's many shifters in town. Shifters are usually a pretty small population of anywhere that you go, unless it's a mainly shifter thing.
Right.
And the pair that you meet seem sort of put off by you. It's hard to pinpoint why, but you just pick up that, when you introduce yourself and hi, I'm Zeract from New Seer, I'm just checking in, how can I help, blah, blah, blah. You just get sort of we don't need anything from you. Why don't you just ride out north or south? That's all this town is to you, so just leave.
This is also fine. Like, she understands that perspective. They're not going to push. Like, it's their right to feel that way.
Okay. And cool. So, let's see. While you're doing that, is anyone else doing anything of note?
Sharut is going to take the wheel inside, but before he gets to the room, he's going to put the wheel right there, take a seat. His lovely.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It's basically like a venison and potato stew. And it seems to, unlike mini stews that you've had in New Seer, this one actually has like a good amount of meat in it. Like it's made like actual stew. And every now and then, from this big like sort of pot thing that they have in the kitchen that you can like sort of barely see, you see the chef just kind of like dump a bunch more meat or a bunch more vegetables in there. Like, there's never really I'm following this recipe. It's just like, I keep putting food in this bucket.
Sharut hardly gobbles down the first helping.
Yeah.
And as he finishes drinking the bowl, you can see it like kind of like leak out of the curls of his mouth.
Yeah.
Puts the bowl down.
Can Sharut have more?
And the innkeeper goes, yeah, of course. And she goes and gets you another small bowl full.
Many thanks.
Yeah, I mean, Eternal Stew is a sort of staple thing that people have at inns. So, you are eating the accumulation of flavors over the course of a number of years. It's just apparently venison today. So, while you guys are doing that, Ringer, I apparently put you in the bed, but are you staying in the bed, or are you doing anything else?
I mean, what's there to do here besides eat?
There's people playing music. There's people playing cards. There's people telling stories. There's all kinds of stuff going on. And that's just in this tavern. There's also like the whole town. There's the hunting lodge, which is kind of like the center of town, or like the big building, I guess. I don't think that I don't think that Ringer's the kind of guy that wants to necessarily go like, I need a good hunting knife and a good hunting bow or any of that stuff. So that probably doesn't appeal. But
for him, the best tool is the one that's at hand.
Cool.
He'll probably listen to stories after he gambles away all of his money.
Okay. Yeah. You gamble a bit. You listen to some stories. They're mostly just sort of like, they're those sort of exaggerated news stories that have been told too many times and taken on too many details. And these people just kind of gobble them up. But as somebody who lives in a town that has actual access to things like newspapers, all of these are slightly wrong in a different way. But at some point, Zena will take you up on your offer to spar if you'd like.
Oh, absolutely.
She comes back into town, or comes back after going into the town a little bit, and she's sort of grumbling, and she's carrying a what looked to be pear, in addition to her big ass double battle axe, is carrying a pair of battle axes. And she says, "Are you did you still want to do this?"
Oh yeah, just give me 1 second. He's gonna turn to the innkeeper like, how much to replace this mug?
And she looks at you and like looks at the big woman, and she just kind of shrugs and she goes, "I'll give it to you for free if it doesn't have an inside."
Works for me.
And then you see this half-orc bartender, our innkeeper's gonna like follow you out. Zena walks out with these two axes, and she these actually have like the leather casing that you would put on to protect the blade from like weather and stuff. And she takes that out and she throws the axe sort of just on the roadside, and then puts the little sheath on one end of her axe, and then she flips it over and she does the same thing with that side. And then she's standing there and she's like, "All right, let's do this."
We see them walk out, right?
Yeah.
Sharut puts a gold coin next to Dandarin.
Put this on half elf.
So
I
Mike,
don't know who you're betting against.
He takes his coin back.
I just want to watch.
Mike, add your turn.
Oh right. Sorry. Where is my initiative?
You gotta click your dude, and then it should be under the.
I think you're gonna go first though.
Yeah, you toggle combat stance, then you go to the fist, and then you click next to you.
What?
So when you right click on your guy, you see the cross swords and the
I
shield
see it.
icon.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
And then you click the
And then you go to
D20.
the fist menu.
Way to go.
So it just rolled a D20, I think, because you don't have your stats in the game. So what should I update that to? What's your initiative bonus?
That is +2, so that's a 5.
Okay.
You go first.
You go first. So she
No,
goes...
you do. You have a 6.
Sorry, I was just. Okay. So she goes, "Do you want to do first to 2 or first to 3?"
Oh, how much energy you got?
Boundless.
Then first to 3 it is.
Okay. And she is going to take a step forward, sort of twirling this axe on the side of her, just kind of like doing the boom, 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 boom. And then she starts using it as like in this weird sweeping two-handed axe motion, barely using it like a double weapon and more just using it like an axe that she can continually grab to keep spinning circles with.
Fuck.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh.
That also hits.
All right. 13 subdual.
Ouch. Right in the chest.
Your turn.
It sure is. I gain tension. You don't say. Oh, I actually gained tension from getting hit. I'm at full tension already.
Nice.
It's so intense.
What does that do? Do a thing.
I can spend that to make myself better. I'm gonna spend 3 tension to give myself +3 dodge bonus.
Oh, okay. That seems like a smart thing.
Yeah. And then I will hit back.
All right. Roll to hit.
I want to make sure I have everything in here right. Okay. God, is that it?
Yes, actually.
Great.
Oosh.
Ooh.
Okay. Is that your only hit?
Yeah, I only get the one.
Okay.
but I gave
Yeah,
him another 10.
she kind of like staggers for a second, and she lifts that same sort of like the greasy back of the hand to her lip, and there's a little bit of blood there, and she goes, "Ow!" And then she
See?
she starts twirling this awkward large weapon, and it's just making this kind of like, instead of whereas a sword would go like through the air, this one's just like whoop, 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 whoop. And she is going to swing at you again.
Oh, yep. That hits by 1.
7 subdue. And as soon as it connects, she stops it from the next one that looked like it might have been about to connect, and she's just like, "Wow, how'd I do?"
That was really good. I would have gone in for the KO, but
You said first to 3.
you're right, first to 3. So give me like a few.
And she goes, and she's like kind of walking back in with you, just like, "You hit really hard. Like my lip is gonna swell now."
Yeah. And you know what you didn't expect? That.
No, I didn't expect you to hit me with your cup. Who hits with a cup?
This guy. He does it real
You should
well.
see what he does with the
So yeah, is Zarek was doing her thing.
As you guys come back into the bar, he hit you with his cup, right?
Who hits with a cup?
He told you he hits with everything random. Who expects that? He told you he was gonna do it. I'm recalling our conversation from lunch.
It's just so distasteful.
Lip
Yeah,
bleeding.
cups don't taste good. I'm sorry, you meant the other thing.
Take this.
Applies the salve.
Wait, to her?
Yeah. I got him today. I'm gonna use him.
I feel like Sharut is still eating his bowl, and like the two of us were talking about something, and we knew this was going to happen as we saw them walk it out. So he like ground something up as we were sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh, but Ash.
There's a
Yeah,
little
it'll be
bit
a
of,
broken lip, won't it?
Most likely.
There's a little bit of stew in the salve, so it stings a little bit extra when he puts it on.
Dick. Yeah, she will. I mean, you're offering her healing for what is essentially a fat lip. She'll take it. Yeah, the majority of the swelling goes down. And she goes, like, once you're done, she says, you should probably see to your friend. He didn't take it as well as I did.
He come see me. He's okay.
Yeah, he's like, I got bruises. Take the cape off.
I got chills. Okay, so Ringer's doing that.
Sharut, I got like he just kind of waves his hand over his torso, like bruise here.
Sharut can see. Should have thrown better punch.
I tried.
There's no try.
Sharut confused how she beat. Very wieldy weapon.
You know
Do not
what?
Understand.
I think we both surprised each other today.
Sharut doesn't look surprised, really.
Yeah, but I think you were surprised by skill, and I was surprised by a man hitting me with a cup.
Which is also a skill.
That's not a skill.
He make
I like how they're fighting with words now.
Would you rather I use a table leg?
I'd rather you use a
No,
sword.
I would rather you use words. I like it.
Okay. Dandarin, was there anything specific you wanted to do before you, like, sort of turn in, I guess?
I'm just working on the gear kind of stuff. I figure
Yeah.
while Sharut is in the room tinkering with
You're doing
you know, I
maintenance
can
and
be
stuff.
tinkering with my stuff, and we can just kind of talk shop
Cool.
while we do that.
And so, Delian,
Yep.
are you, I'm assuming, annoying the bard? Are you actually paying attention, like, oh, like, this is kind of nice?
I'm also enjoying a nice good cup of coffee. So it's a mixture of the three.
Oh.
Like, I'll enjoy some tunes, but if like the bard plays one that isn't so great or one that doesn't interest me, that's when I'll just like start nagging and annoying in between sips of coffee, just to make me myself look way more pretentious.
Give me a diplomacy check at a -6.
Hell yeah.
You really need to take. I forget what the talent's called. I think it's goad. You need to take goad. Yeah, he doesn't like you.
That's fine.
There's a.
You don't say.
There's
Yeah. I don't know why.
yeah. There's a point where the bard just sort of stands like right here and just starts playing like basically slightly out of tune, but louder than you can object over.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
just kind
'cause
of-
I'm gonna just start shouting louder.
But no, you're getting the whole beat wrong.
Well, and when he starts doing that, just trying to annoy me, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, this is great!" Just like really double down. Like, you should have been doing this the whole time. Because now what he's doing is pissing other people off, and it ain't my fault. It's his fault.
Yes, let the chaos consume your soul.
The bard gets ejected.
Yes!
After
That'll teach him.
after about half a song of this, the innkeeper comes over and goes, "All right, I think that's enough. Pack it
Yeah,
up and
I
get
think
out."
so.
And then she would you like to give me a reflex check?
Is she telling me to leave?
No, she's telling the bard to leave.
Oh, yeah.
The
I'll do
bard's an
that.
employee. You're a customer.
Fantastic.
Okay, so she walks over. She's basically standing like right here, and she
Yeah.
looks at the bard and says, "That's enough. Pack it up. You're out of here." And then she kind of like crouches real fast and puts a hand at the bottom of your chair, and then just stands up so that the chair tips over backwards, and you just kind of like roll backwards out of it onto the ground.
Fantastic.
And she says, "And you, stop annoying my employees."
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just a purveyor of fine music, and he was just
You're a
doing these
dick
things
is
in
what you are.
injustice. In certain circles.
And she'll just kind of like walk back behind the bar and just stand there and cross her like big half-orky arms over her big half-orky chest, just like glare at you from behind the bar. Like,
I'm gonna stretch and go, my legs were getting tired anyway. And just like meander off.
okay. You were playing the most annoying character.
But not to the people that matter. Like random NPC. That's yes, I am playing an annoying character. I will not be doing it all the time, but for right now, I will.
Yeah, so that's going on. Danderin has maintained everybody's stuff. Sharut, can you give me a knowledge engineering to fix that wagon wheel?
I can.
Do not understand how this trail was flat.
Jesus
Do not
Christ, dude.
understand.
Listen, I don't know. I didn't see that one rock. Apparently, the only rock in the entirety of the trail, but it was there.
Yeah.
I don't remember a rock.
It was a pothole the entire time.
You slip sort of a metal band off it, and you're able to get the spokes back into where they need to be. You realize that what happened is the sort of the wood circle inside the metal band was cracked, and so when it went over that rock, the circle where it was cracked sort of shattered. This is barely repairable. What you're essentially doing is like putting it on there and then putting like a lot of like tar from Danderin's supplies on, and just tacking a bunch of stuff on it together to make it hold. This is now the spare tire, because if it was the main tire, or if it's used in any sort of dangerous circumstance, it's not going to do very well, but you've made it hold together for now.
Here's problem. See? Poor disrepair. Surprised. Think blacksmith would in better shape.
I think a blacksmith would have a better wooden wheel.
You see here, your problem is this is made out of wood, and I didn't make this wagon. And then he'll pull out his hammer and be like, "This I made." And he just hands you a Mastercraft, masterwork hammer.
And then I kill the goblin to show the difference.
See this hammer?
More goblin
It's like-
heads then. And then he looks down at Sharut. He's like, "Oh, that's culturally insensitive. I'm sorry."
so sorry.
Think you should go to
You insult my craft. You're stabbing me personally, and I
Not
don't take
insulting.
kindly to it.
not insulting blacksmithery, just disrepair of wheel.
I know. Again,
You
I
admit
didn't
not
think
your
it.
craft.
I know. Normally, this is where my brother would play off of me, and we'd have banter. And I've made myself sad.
Drew kind of sighs, and he goes into Dandarin's stuff and pulls out the water skin of ale that he obviously has and just hands it to him.
There's no water skin. It's a flask, please.
Does anybody have a sausage?
Drink.
Okay,
I need McCray and sausages.
so I'm gonna move some stuff along.
Okay.
Justin, I know you said that there was a thing you wanted to do, but I'm moving past that. I'm sorry, you'll have to do it on another night.
That's fine.
So you guys said that you were setting up. Oh no, you guys didn't say that you were setting up a watch. You guys are having the Deneth Soldiers watch, correct?
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. And I don't know which wagon you guys have access to. Is it this one or this?
I believe
That's the one on the right.
I
Is the one
believe
I've had
it's-
access.
Okay.
this
it's the one
is
on the right.
ours.
Cool. So this one's yours, this one's theirs, and yeah. In that case, let's see. Dandrin, you bought your own room, correct? Good
Eric,
talk.
If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Oh, he's doing that crying thing again.
No, sorry. I missed that part.
I said you bought your own
I
room,
can't
correct?
distract.
You're
Correct.
okay. So you're over there, and then so I imagine it's Ringer, and then the two of them are basically
Do you note that at this point Zarek has been up or been sleeping or snoozing for most of the afternoon? She'll probably turn in for a quick nap, but then be up for most of the night.
Okay. So, there is a point because Lumio, you said you were just gonna stay up and work on writing and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird when I ask questions to people that are on the same channel and they don't answer.
He said
Did
yes.
you not hear me?
I didn't hear you at all.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, he just answered.
I think Discord might be being a little wonky.
Well, that sucks because Discord's what we're using. But cool. So Lumio, Deliad,
yeah.
and Zaract, please all give me perception checks at regular perception. Everybody else, you have various penalties to it. 1 second.
Nice.
Thank you, Eric. Your sacrifice is appreciated.
Oh dear.
Oh, you don't have penalties. I just have to I just have to give you a thing.
You're welcome.
So everybody else also please make the perception checks as well.
Thank you, Eric. Your sacrifice has not been in vain.
Ooh.
Hey, I did recall that Zarek.
Who is Wagon? And why are you Wagon?
Really good.
Yeah, they were with me.
God damn, Wagon.
No, I had put a condition on our wagons to keep track of which is which,
Oh, did you?
and we both chose the same one for both wagons.
Nope,
Another
it's the
5.
same wagon.
Copies. It copies.
Oh, that's so good.
That's good. I dig it. It's fine.
It's a hive wagon.
It's fine. We'll do it live. Let's see. I wonder if this one does it too.
Why is there a third wagon?
They're
Yep.
all instants. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, now we know. We know that's the thing that Foundry does.
The thing you can configure in the.
All right. But what if I duplicate it and then I do it? Hey. Okay.
Hey.
So, this will be their wagon, and it'll have the little mark. Does that work?
Sure.
Cool. So, Dandarin doesn't hear it. Wagon, Sharut, Delian, Zaract, and Lumio, you all do hear it.
Oh.
Over in this area right here, there's a scream, and for the people that didn't hear it, you didn't hear it because basically you're asleep. So there's a scream over here, and then you hear someone speaking very angrily, and it's sort of like it's that loud talk that could be a whisper, but it's like that powerful whisper. So you just hear someone going like, "Shut up, you stupid shifter bitch, or you'll get the knife."
Oh,
Nope.
Shirts up and about.
Are these windows? Are they glass or are they just shuttered?
They are glass. They are glass windows that have sort of like wood shutters on the outside of them. Like so, you can basically like
Okay.
like open the glass and then like open the shutters if you'd like.
Neat.
So, it sounds like we're probably going to be in an encounter. So I'm gonna ask everybody to please add themselves to it.
Ah, yes. I remember how to do this.
You right click on
Toggle
yourself,
combat state.
and then you toggle combat
Go to the
state.
fist. Roll my dice.
Yes, and then you
Roll
fist
my
some dice.
Ooh.
It's a miracle.
And then I
Ringer accepts the sacrifice.
I love it.
so 1 second here. The thing.
Nice name.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Goddamn Thugly.
Fugly, Muggsy, and Clyde.
Mugsley.
Yeah, Noah. He has a name, sir.
Ugly,
I said Mugsley.
I love that there's two
Two
Fuglies. Oh, fucking Fuglies.
It's not a pretty town. Lumio, I'm gonna update yours and put you in 14.01.
Okay.
Lumio, what's your initiative bonus? And then Dandrin, what's your initiative bonus?
1.
Mine is 0.
Okay, so that is correct then.
Yeah, that's why it does.
Ringer, what's your initiative bonus, please?
2. I'm at 5.
Okay.
How do you?
Oh,
set the
I should
point
have put my initiative bonus in. Fuck me.
again.
I should
What was
probably
that?
do too.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh.
if you guys can actually update your own initiative. You should be able to. You just right click on it and you update initiative.
No,
No?
no. Mine's a 3, so I should be 13.
Update combatant 13. If you want to go in your sheet and just add a +3 so that it does that one automatically from now on, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll look into doing that right now.
And then Ringer is at a 5. Did that ruin anything? Nobody
I don't
is
know where to find
tied.
that.
If
In
you
your sheet, you just need to modify everything accordingly, like stat values and stuff. And it
yeah,
should
like
update
honestly, if you have a +2,
It doesn't
just
do
set.
that for initiative apparently.
If you have a
So
+2, just set your dex as 14, and then it'll do it
My dex is that at that.
on the sheet.
Yeah.
Then why isn't it adding it? Oh, I know why it's not adding it. Because you rolled as the wagon.
That's right.
I'm so
Yay. All right. And I have kind of run out of tokens here. So I gotta add another one. So I'll use that one.
Oh, hello, Metrolane.
It's a Metro Lane! Get him!
It's a Metrolane!
Okay, Sharut. I don't know if you heard this. Did you hear this?
I did.
You did.
I did.
So yeah, you heard a scream sort of wake you up, and then you kind of like just barely were able to make out that whisper because you're apparently
Yeah,
sleeping with the doors open and the windows open.
Hey, sometimes you gotta get a little air. Okay.
Yeah, just do your thing.
Just all right. So Sharut is going to move there, and then this window is not open. So he's going to there and then open up the. I think that's.
Okay, sounds good. So hold on, let me actually start that. How do I start? Don't hit reset initiative. I've done that before.
Not helpful.
Not helpful. I will hit the thing that says begin combat. It's at the bottom. Yeah. And then we will go after Sharut, and after Sharut is Mugsley. And yeah, hold on. I need to do some rolls real quick. Shit, I think I just took him out and then added him back to. Nope,
He's not in the tracker.
this one.
Clyde. Yeah, Clyde's now he's back in the tracker.
I don't remember. Oh, this is the guy that was at 8. Clyde. Clyde is hiding. Give him not nearly. All right. So, Mugsley, this charming fellow, is going to hold turn. Then it goes to Thugly, and then to Clyde, and then to Lumio.
All right. Does it look to me like nope? I need X. This window here would open.
It looks like it will. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna proceed to that and try to open it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're on the inside, so you
hopefully-
basically
yeah.
just have to,
Flip the latch and open it.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do that then. And I think I can see now.
Yeah. The moving there and then opening the window, you can see. That would be both of your actions, so you wouldn't be able to interact. But what you can see is, first of all, give me a perception check.
Okay. This page.
And if you do not have low light or dark vision, which I don't think Warforged do, then you're at a -2 for this check.
Okay. So that will put me at a -1. Huh, good.
Okay, so what you can make out are these two guys that are dressed sort of like they're dressed as like blackjacks, and they have this woman on the ground, and one of them is like laying into her ribs with a blackjack, and the other one is just standing there sort of yelling at her. And she looks to be sort of like clutching something to her stomach, but you can't really see it because she's rolled up the other way. Her back is facing you.
All right. I'll observe from here, as that seems to be the best use of the rest of my turn.
Okay.
And I'll hit end turn. Now it's Standard's turn.
Dandred, it's your turn.
Sleeping.
Oh, is it? Well, I guess I wake up. Yeah, I wake up.
Okay. Yeah, you're basically able to spend like this turn waking up.
That's what I figured.
Cool. Next, Delian. You heard a scream for help over here.
I did. Where am I right now?
You are
By the wagons.
right there. You're in this spot.
Okay.
This one, right there. This
Yep,
guy.
that one right there.
Yep, you're here.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's a
where's
good
Gillian?
one. I just need to know.
Wait, where are the bad guys again? Compared to Delian?
It would be great if you're like, so where am I? You're right there. Past turn.
Don't you tempt me.
Character in and out of the game.
So I'm here and she's chilling out next to me and shit.
She's basically she has been doing this like kind of figure eight thing.
Yeah.
But give me are you asking so that you could potentially like find a flaw in what she's doing?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right.
How can I put it? She is trying to make it not a pattern. She's not doing the best job, but she's doing an okay job. So she doesn't. It's not always at the same speed. She doesn't always make the figure eight. Sometimes she just does a no-volt. Sometimes she stops there for a bit and looks. Bowen is fully like willing to talk to you, but she is keeping guard.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she's watching. But with a perception check like that, there's probably a like flaw that you could sort of exploit if you really wanted to.
Cool. Because let's see, how can my charisma is not that great. I'm kind of a piece of shit.
Weird.
Weird.
No, none of us picked up on that.
Totally not the
I-
character you've been playing.
Not at all. I'm actually a heart of gold. So what I'm gonna do, what I want to try to do is exploit a flaw, where she's. I'm surprised she's, not running after the scream. But I want to get into the party's wagon, essentially,
Okay.
somehow, some way.
Cool. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
All right.
Are you like announcing it? Are you just hiding? Are you doing anything to try to, how can I put it, cause a distraction? Or are you just like, next time she goes around, I just ain't gonna be here anymore?
Basically, like, you keep guard. I'll announce being like, I'm going to, because if I announce it, then it won't matter. Be like, I hear that there might be some action. Hey, so while you do this bit, I'm going to go protect what we're actually here to protect. That way we have somebody on the inside just in case someone tries to, like, do some tomfoolery, you know?
And she will give you sort of a curt nod, and she says, I will stand here and watch the wagons. And she like continues doing her thing, having
Cool.
literally no intention of going to help.
Yeah. And I'll just hop in the wagon.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a stealth check.
All right.
I am not going to be able to compete with this. Yes, not at all. Yeah, you go, I'm gonna go over there and help, and she goes, okay, and she like turns the corner, and you're like, idiot. You jump into the wagon, and it's you in a large box. There's certainly a large box there, but that's basically your whole turn is like getting into it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's fine.
After that is going to be Zeract.
Zeract pops open this window because it's right next to the bed, and as a move action, and then we'll take. I'm gonna assume that the window pane is difficult terrain, so 10 feet of movement to get out.
Yeah. You have to squeeze through the window.
And then Zeract starts to move forward. She's got her mace in hand and is just ready to absolutely tear it.
Okay. And okay, and then you're done.
That's all I can do. Yep, that's it for now.
Sounds good. Fugly.
Righto.
So yeah, this is the guy who has the blackjack, and you see him just bring it down real hard, and there's just it looks like he actually kind of missed, because you see like a little puff of dirt, so it looks like the blackjack actually impacted with the dirt on the other side of the woman. And he goes, damn it, you stupid feral bitch, give it here. And Zeract, can I get you to give me a perception check, please?
Yes.
Lumio quietly writing down everything that's happening in court later.
All right.
Shit. There we go.
So, Zeract, you are able to notice 2 additional people. In addition to Fugly 1 and 2, who are hitting the woman, you also notice this upstanding gentleman. And here, I will update his tokens so that we know names. So yes, you also notice Thugly and Mugsley as well.
By God.
I wish that this was always enabled, and I did do it very. So yeah, you notice that there's 2 other people that are waiting there, like weapons in hand and looking at the woman. All right. The woman bundles up a little bit more and on the ground, and you just hear her go, "No, I won't let you have her. Get back!" And Ringer. There has been some runny, stomping feet going past your door, and apparently something's going on outside.
Yep, I passed my perception check, so
Yeah.
I should have heard what's going on up there.
Mm-hmm.
Ringer wasn't asleep; he was just trying to like treat the bruise, I guess.
Okay.
Like the reason he was so slow is because he was putting on his clothes. He opens his window and climbs out.
Sounds good. You open your
If you
window,
still move
and
after that.
you were on this bed, and that's right by the window. So opening it would be an action, and then you would still have your movement minus 1 hex once you started moving.
So there.
I probably need to make the hexes a little bit more visible, huh? We'll go with the standard, very, very opaque red.
There we go. So I'd be like there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, when you walk by Bowen, there's a moment where she sort of like half draws the sword and then sees that it's you and puts it back in and continues walking on her thing. All right. And Lumio and Zeract, could you guys please both roll me a perception check? This is sort of whispered, so it's going to be at a
-2. I've got a +1, so -1. Hey.
Okay. Both of you hear the appropriate Fugly, this guy right here. As he's like shouting, like, "Give it here!" He goes, "Is that her?" And then someone goes, "Yep." And start of the turn, Sharut.
All right. So Sharut's gonna hop out the window, terrain, and then he's going to get static from somebody.
I'm also getting static from somebody.
Yeah. No idea who.
I get static.
Weird.
Hold on.
Hang on.
What about now? Is the static on?
No, that's very strange.
Static is gone.
Uh,
Gone
It-
for me.
Yeah, it's gone for me. I had to like
Oh,
bounce
I
out and
I
then
never
bounce
got
back in.
static from anybody.
That was
That's
weird.
weird.
Yeah, there was
There
a,
we
there was a lot.
Okay. Yeah, like it was.
It was me.
I think
Anyway.
so. Yeah.
So 10 feet to get outside the window, and then 25 to move, right? Or no, it's 20 to move, and then another 20 if I'm double, or another 30 if I'm double. Yeah,
Right.
that's so 20, and then farthest. And yeah, because I can't run. Okay, cool.
Wait, this right here?
Well, it was from
From the
here
window,
to
I think.
here,
Oh, gotcha.
right?
Yeah,
So,
like this is just grass. Like this is fine.
Yeah, like, but it's like I got here, and then I guess I could move, like, since that's just grass, I can move another 10 feet,
Okay,
I think.
Sounds good.
About right
How do
there.
you do the ruler thing? Sorry.
You click the under on the left side where you have the guy, like all the way on the left side, the icon. One of the icons should look like a ruler. So top left of your screen in Foundry, you should have some icons.
Oh, I see it now. Sorry,
Yeah.
it was blending into the background.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. After Sharut is Moxley. Zeract.
All right.
An attack comes your way. You get your dex bonus to this attack because you can actually see this guy.
Like that hits.
It don't it? Okay. So, he does, and I need you to make me a fortitude. Okay, you're fine. And yeah, so there's that distinctive like thuklak of a crossbow shooting from the darkness. Well, it's the darkness for everybody else. For you, it's basically light. And you feel that like that bolt probably a little bit lower than he imagined because it sort of hits you in the leg. And he immediately drops it to the ground, slams his foot into the ring, pulls it back, and locks another bolt. And he goes, "There she is. Get her." And then this dude is going to see. Yeah, that'll work. This is targeting your CMD. Whew.
I'm gonna assume that's a no.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure a 10 misses you. 10 misses most people. It might not be high, but I'm assuming it's like an 11 or 12.
I got a 13.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this big like bear of a man just kind of runs up and goes, "There you are," and then like reaches his hands down to try to grab at you, and you manage to duck under his big mighty meat claws. And then Lumio, it's your turn.
The thing I wanted to do.
So you can kind of make out Zeract in the shadows over there.
Yeah.
She's faintly lit from the light that's coming from inside. And you just saw her get shot with a crossbow, and then you saw some big dude run up and try to grab her.
Yeah. Was that the one I picked? Sorry, I'm just double checking the totem that I had. I'll blow him up. Static blast on
Okay.
the dude. I have an extended range, so it should be easily there.
Yeah, you with extended range, you're gonna be fine. So
Okay. I believe my attack is still plus.
yeah, and
zero?
you have precise shot and all that stuff too, right? I believe.
I don't see it on my.
Check your Mythweaver sheet.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I don't see it on my list.
Oh,
so.
so this was the thing where like if they're in melee, it's better for you to use like the sphere one, because that doesn't target them; it targets the square. Because if they're in melee, you get a penalty to hit them, but you don't get a penalty to hit the square. So it's better to make like the sphere. That was sort of like the tactic that we discussed. Otherwise, you need precise shot to do
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm targeting the square that he's in.
Cool. So you're going to make the sphere.
Yep.
So that means that instead of you rolling an attack roll, I roll a saving throw.
Please
And
do.
my saving throw against your stuff is probably not. Do some damage.
Okay, where did that go? I think that's only 1d6.
I believe so. But you said it was static, right?
Yeah, I was spending a point to make it static, so he'd drop his weapon. I believe that's the one I'm talking about.
Bless you, whoever that was.
Thank you.
Save.
That was me.
Oh, you would tip the check. Okay. Go ahead and roll your CMB, and then
That's an 11?
uh
Oh, plus 1. So D20 plus 1.
yeah, and it says you add your level, which is 2, and your casting ability modifier, which I believe is 3.
Yes. That's plus 6. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. He has
Oh, another 10.
he has what looks like a pair of essentially manacles in his hand.
Mhm.
and when you hit him with the ball, he kind of and like he drops the manacles. Can you give me my 1d6 damage?
Yeah. 6.
6 damages. You, sir.
I dare. With the most that I possibly could dare.
Wow, that's an elevation thing apparently. I thought that was to track you. Now it's points. Okay. After Lumio, that is going to be Dendron.
Right. Well, I'm going to start by grabbing my things. And can the window open, or would I need to break it?
The window can open. It's a move action. If you'd like, the window can break.
I break it anyway.
It's just up to you. I gently climb out the window and then smash it.
I smash it. I pull it apart and I put it back together.
Yeah. Next round, I'm gonna coup de grace the glass.
Wow.
I light up my halberd. No.
Sorry, the glass isn't prone, so.
I just, basically grab stuff, open window, shift out the.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Sounds good. If you'd like, you could still move a couple more squares if you want. Or a couple
Dendron,
more faces.
No, because I had to take an action to grab my stuff,
Okay.
and then an action to open the window, and then I just shifted
Cool.
the 5 feet.
All right, and then after Dendron is going to be Coralie, who goes. She is essentially able to get to here. Yeah, you see this Diniath bodyguard basically just dive through this window, shatter it, and
That's rude. Glass is expensive.
and then emerge out here. And she says, she looks to the man and says, "I do not know who you are, but you have picked the wrong target tonight. Leave and live, stay and die." Delian.
Yep.
What would you like to do there, bud?
Is there any way of opening this here box?
So the box is like, it's a big crate, right? It's like nailed shut.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you've had to deal with before. You can make the strength check, or you can give me a disable device.
I think I might just do the disable device, if that's all.
Wuss. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I am.
What are you gonna do about it?
Trying to be sneaky, I stealthed in, no problem, then just...
Bowen, you
Oh,
want to get
me?
in here and help me with this? Oh shit.
Ah, damn it.
Okay, yeah, that's not enough. You're like cranking on it, and you're. Did a dwarf make this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. After Delian is Zaract. Zaract, a big man ran up and tried to grab you.
So it's a move action to suppress or show the sign of Sevnor, which I do.
Okay.
So Ziract just, her form flows and in the shadow just begins to roil off, and
Lost the map.
Really?
Reload application.
oh, there we go. A person-sized shadow mastiff bipedal is standing there now. It's cool.
Okay.
And then Ziract activates Sevnor's howl, baying howl ability. So I need a will save.
And how many? That's everybody within 30 feet?
Everybody within 30 feet.
Everybody within 30 feet. All right. I will.
Hey.
I will roll for Monsieur Thugly, and I will also roll for Coralie.
Yeah, it's just shy
Sweet,
of everyone
40
else.
feet away. Woo!
Yeah.
So 1d20. Come on, Thugly.
Ooh,
Eh?
no.
Come on, Coralie.
Also, no.
All right. So what does that do?
They are now shaken for 1d4 rounds. I'll roll that real fast.
And I'll find.
Yeah, they are, which is great. And unfortunately, that's all I can do.
Okay.
That's but I assume that is probably intimidating as fuck.
It probably is. Really, with all the shit that they have in here, they don't have shaken. They have ice shield and fire shield, and not shaken.
Do they have stirred?
It is shaken is the most commonly used. Whatever. I'll just remember it. All right. So that was Zaract. Fugly's gonna go, and these two go.
Yeah, that cannot work.
And you see him swing the big blackjack.
Oh Christ! Yeah,
Ooh. I will see if he confirms on his big blackjack.
I would like it if you'd stop rolling so high. Yeah, that's a good.
Okay.
Good dunk.
Even with the armor boost I gave you?
Yeah, even with the armor bonus.
I tried.
Yeah, it's like, well.
Zeract is not yet heavily.
Take 12 points of subdual damage, please.
Sure do.
Remember, in general, for Pathfinder, for those who don't know, basically like hit points count down and subdual damage counts up. And if the hit points that you count down to ever meet the subdual damage that you're counting up from, you go unconscious. And then the woman on the ground stands up and she starts moving her arms, and you see little sparks coming from them. And then she launches a bolt in this sort of way. This is actually one that you roll a reflex save on.
Delightful. Oh, I see. I've taken Eric's rolls.
Look,
What'd you do that for?
no one told you to do that.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
chose to. Damn it! I don't know how to delete these anymore. There we go. Zeract,
God damn it! I'm unconscious.
you take 2 points of electricity damage, and in addition to being unconscious, you drop your crossbow
Mace.
or mace. You drop it. How you like that?
Fine. You gotta stop knocking me out like right at the start of every fight. This is just not kosher. So I
Ringer.
feel good about hiring a bodyguard. Yeah.
Ringer.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you. I have two questions. Can I draw weapons as I'm running?
You don't
What's
have
your
a pen and
what's your
paper, no.
BAB?
My BAB is 2.
Yes. If you have a BAB of 1 or more, you can draw a weapon as you're moving.
Great.
Like as part of move action.
What is the throwing range on my immovable rocks?
On your immovable rocks. Well, shit, son. I'm gonna say the throwing range on a rock is, let's go with 15 feet. Like
Okay.
you can be pretty accurate with a rock from about 15 feet.
I can run.
So,
is it 3 or 4 times?
running is 4 times your speed. It's 5 if you have the run feat. It's 3 if you're in heavy armor. And I need you to make me a perception check.
Sure. Got a 15.
Okay, you can see this guy, and you can see these two. You can't see that guy.
Okay.
I don't, at this time, know how to make tokens invisible and still have them be on the field, so it's there, but you can't see it.
So just to clarify, I can see this guy, this guy, this guy.
Yeah. So, like, basically, as you're rounding the corner, this person just launched a lightning bolt over there, and you see this guy like aiming a crossbow.
Well, I ran to get where I am.
Okay, sounds
My
good.
turn.
Fugly is he's gonna move up to here and then spend a move action to basically like pick the manacles up off the ground, and he looks to Thugly and he says, "Quit screwing around. Handle the Deneth, and let's get going." And top of the round, Sharut.
All right. So running is 4 times said.
Mm-hmm. I really like Lumio as this like weird window sniper.
I feel like that is super appropriate.
Yeah, where he's just like, "Oh," and he looks up from the table he was sitting at, and he goes, "Pew, pew," and then he goes back to his book.
Would
Exactly.
I be able to use these bushes as cover?
So
Bushes as cover.
the bushes would provide concealment. They don't provide like concealment would be hiding you, but it's not necessarily granting you like armor. It's not making you harder to hit.
I mean, conceal mechanically.
Yeah. Mechanically, it lets you hide, whereas cover makes you tougher to hurt.
Because I can't get in range and attack
Okay.
yet.
So like to clarify something, because I don't know if you know this for Pathfinder, your weapons range is 30, right?
Yes.
30 is the range at which you don't take penalty. You can shoot farther than that. You just take penalties for each range increment. So you can make one, for example, you could make the one movement thing to get to here. And then, let's see, you have 30 feet at no penalty. You have 60 feet at a -2, and you have 90 feet at a -4.
But I don't even know if that guy's there.
Yeah,
at this
you
point.
you do have to make a perception check as you come across the corner to see if you know that this dude or this dude are even here.
Okay, so-
The woman who you can see at this point is very easy to see.
So I would be about back here.
Okay.
Yeah, before I'd have to make that check.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me the perception check, and then we can decide the rest of your.
Can figure it out from there.
It would be really funny if you rounded the corner and you were like, "There's one."
16.
Yes, you can see this guy. You can't see this guy.
So he is really far. So yeah, I think I wouldn't change that. I would still go here.
Okay, sounds good. All right. And after Sharut is gonna be Mugsley, who is going to turn and take a shot at Ringer. Yeah, Ringer, you see him like sight you down the crossbow, and then he releases 1d20 plus 4. Dude,
Would you stop?
Yeah, cut it out.
Jesus Christ.
does he crit? Does the 13 crit you?
No.
All right.
Because even though I'm not wearing armor right now, I have an AC of 14.
All right. So, you, however, are within 30 feet, maybe? No. So he deals 8 damages. Take it.
Stop rolling dice, John. Fuck.
He's started down a path now, Justin. He can't just stop rolling dice.
And then
Is this what I
he
was like? My neighbor wasn't my boys.
All the time.
he slams the foot bit back into the ground, and then you see him like put a foot in it, grab it, yank it back with one hand, lifts it, and slams a bolt home. And next is going to be Thugly, who goes, "Fine, I'll handle the bodyguard."
I'm going to activate my adrenaline surge, which just gives me temporary HP.
Okay, cool. He tries to do the big bear hug on Corley, and Corley just sort of ducks under his arm and kind of like sort of slashes him across the ass with her sword, and he's like, "Ow, ow!"
Does that provoke curiosity?
No, he's a grappler. This is what he's built to do. He's just really sucking at it. And so, Lumio, can you give me a perception check?
Yes. What's the plus minus anything?
It's you can't really see in the dark, so it's going to be at a -2.
Okay.
Ooh,
How's that?
You might see it.
18.
Oh shit! You actually see it. You get your dex bonus against this.
Hey! Let me go check what that is.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
A man just kind of like appears at the side, and he lashes out with this real strange looking sword that's it's curved, but it's not curved forward. It's curved it's not curved backward, it's curved forward. So it's like just basically like almost a sickle, but it's sword size. Dude, I don't know what is happening with Discord, but it is like freaking out. It keeps going very staticky.
It's weird.
So it's like a Kopesh.
No, because a Kopesh is curved backwards. This is a Fox. It's curved forwards.
You're right.
And he misses. Ooh. And he goes, he swings, and because you sort of had your wits about you, you dodge backwards, and he just like breaks through the shutter, and the point of the sword just kind of digs into the windowsill, and then he kind of like pulls it backwards, and he looks at you and goes, "I don't know you. You can live through this. Leave."
That's all I say.
It is your turn.
Awesome. I'm going to put lightning in his body.
Okay. I imagine
I'm
you...
also going to take a step back.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. And then let's go ahead and do that static one again. No, wait. Isn't electric the one that stuns? The electric blast
So,
for a round.
Electric blast. Yes, I believe so. Oh, no. Electric gives you a bonus to hit. It's the other electricity one that gives you shock blast, gives you a potential save or be dazed.
Yeah, let's give him the shock blast.
Okay. So go ahead and roll
points
to
back.
hit.
Okay.
He's gonna have some like partial cover from the window that he's standing outside of, but it's not like full cover.
This is only against his touch. So doop 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 doop. Does an 18 do it?
An 18 will hit him.
Yay!
And I have to roll his
Is
fort
it cool
save.
to spend an extra thing to add another d6 of dice or to the damage?
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's the one that just.
In the future, you have to decide to spend the points as you're casting them.
Yeah. I will declare all of them in the future.
Okay. So that's 2d6 damage.
Yes, just making sure of the shock isn't the one that changes to that changes to a D4. So and it's electrical damage.
Okay.
Not that I think that really matters. So it's 2d4. Put the slash in front of it. There we go. 6. And he's dazed. Why did I roll again?
Misclick.
Somehow. I didn't click anything.
Sorry, I had you click.
Ah.
I didn't mean to do that. I was rolling his fortitude.
Huh.
Like whoever I click last, that's who I roll as.
Mm-hmm.
Which you guys might have heard because of Mike the Wagon.
Rolling as a wagon?
I'm good at that.
Yep. Okay. And yeah, you hit him and he just kind of like and he does not like look like he's fully himself right now. And then it is Dandarin's turn. Dandarun.
Charge to charge. And a swing and a swing.
A swing and a swing. All right.
And it's a charge, so it's not that it matters with how I have been rolling.
We'll just roll better.
Hey!
Jesus.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
there's the one on damage.
You run up on Thugly and you crack. And that's how much
Flip him
damage?
in the air.
8?
No, it's 3 bashing. I roll a 1
3
for
damage. Okay. So that is going to be sounds good. All right. After Dandarin will be Corley, who will swing at a man's and will miss and will knock him back. Oh, that was too far. And will knock him back to there. She misses with the sword and then slams him with her shield and he hits back.
Does that provoke?
No, she has bull rush.
But
Oh,
he
does it
moves
provoke
through
when
my threat
he
area.
does it provoke when he moves? No.
Oh.
She's forcing the movement and she's not built like Greta was. So no.
You need
Oh.
a special feat for the.
Yeah. She is good, but is also a hireable for 5 gold a day in PC. So no.
Oh.
And Dillian, another
I'm gonna
disabled
try
device check.
me again
All right, let's do it.
because I want this thing to be open. It bothers me. How dare they just close something? Yes. Oh, even better.
Fantastic. Can you give
You're
me another
sacrificing
stealth
this
check
meeting, John Eric, why are you doing
Yes, I can.
this?
to see if you're making noise?
Mm.
Outside, you hear this. What was that?
Oh, that's fine. I can easily just. I'm small. I'll just hide behind the box.
So that's basically what you're trying to do is hide behind the box.
How dark is it where we are?
I mean, it's pretty dark. You got like this door over here has some light coming out of it. The one right here.
Yeah.
But
This window is
otherwise, yeah, that window's open with I assume like a candle or something inside. Otherwise, the
This
main
window's
light that's
also-
coming from here is coming from Bowen.
Okay.
So yeah, she's the one that's kind of walking around with a torch and keeping an eye out.
Fantastic. I know what I'm going to do next then.
Okay. After Dillian is Zarect.
I'm unconscious.
You are unconscious. Sorry.
Did I do that? Says the DM.
This.
Just ignore. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm just no.
What's that, Andy?
Oh my god.
Getting uppity again?
Oh, come on.
Says
Wow.
the guy
For real, man.
who knocked
not-
him.
Confirm.
I didn't
Fuck,
confirm. He sort of circles around Zarect and just clubs Corley in the back of the head with a blackjack. And she kind of wavers for a second because like she doesn't have the helmet on and she's just I will fucking murder you. This one is gonna go to here. And Eric, can you give me a reflex save, please?
Well, I can certainly roll a dice. Here's a d20 roll. That's what I got. Plus 2, so 11. Or sorry, 13. I assume it's a spell, is why I say that.
It is. Yes, it is magic. You take 3 points, this time of fire damage, sir. As a blast of fire comes your way.
We
All right.
see this spell go
So-
off, right?
Yes.
So it's-
you see this
it's
woman.
fire, correct?
You see this woman basically like wave her hands, do like kind of a half twirl with her hips, and then like fire and smoke start just brimming at her hands from her forearms, and she blasts forward with her right arm, and then like a half second later, you probably hear Danarin go like, "Ah, fuck."
Yeah, no, it's just I'll look at my arm and then I'll look over at her. I'll be with you in a minute.
All right, and then Ringer, it's your turn.
Is this difficult terrain?
Yes, but
Then
only for that square though.
Can he jump it?
Yeah, I would allow you to jump.
Okay.
I would say that you have to be able to like clear the height of it with your acrobatics check, but yeah, I'd allow that.
Well, let's see what happens.
Ringer right into a thorn bush. Oh fuck.
Oh,
Through the power of dice, the DM wiped the body.
The party was
1
TP.
second. I gain another point of tension because I'm moving. I gain one just for starting. There's the roll.
He's just always tense.
I build tension every round.
No,
I gain
it's-
one at the start of my turn, and moving gives me tension. Taking damage gives me tension.
I'm just
doing
imagining
damage.
him as like the
Mike,
the bully guy from Community. The like, my life is a gym. That guy.
Mike,
It's
was
more
that your
accurate to
roll?
say that yes.
Okay, so you are running at this guy, right?
Uh-huh.
You get a +4.
Oh, so that's 16,
Yeah, and your move speed's base though, right? You don't have a movement speed
Right.
above 30.
18. Correct.
Okay.
Okay, then there's no additional bonus.
Yeah. I would say that that's enough to like mentally I was going for 15, so that's enough to get you there.
Perfect. Then I can charge. That is not where I want to go.
Wow, you sure did, man.
threw the wall off.
Fuck.
He's just
Just
like, I'm
abandoned the
fucking out,
party.
guys.
It's that meme just
breaking
Guess what?
literally
I'm going to
everything.
spend some of that tension. 2 of it, in fact.
You don't say.
Yeah. Give myself +2 to attack and damage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
I'm using an immovable rock. Is that considered a light weapon?
The immovable a rock would be like a tiny weapon.
Okay, it increases in size because of my barroom stuff, so it would be light.
Okay, cool. I'm using an immovable rock to beat her about the head.
Does it hit?
Thunk, thunk.
Yeah, that'll hit.
It's a caster, so probably.
Well, that's gonna be a bad one.
Sure is.
left your back line protected.
Oh, that's what we call a bad time.
And then I click the rock.
Jesus. She's not unconscious, but she isn't happy.
Was she happy before?
She was doing great before. She was having a good night.
No, I mean like happy. Like
She was singing, she was dancing.
yeah.
yeah.
She's just
I
having a
guess-
good old time casting spells and like lighting the dwarves on fire and throwing lightning and shit. She was like, how can life get any better than this?
Is that not what you call a good time?
So this guy right here, that fugly, goes, boss.
gonna make you look like me.
He goes, boss. And the guy by the window, who's still kind of like got the lightning going over him, he goes, finish it. He goes, okay, boss. And then he, you see him take a knife out, and he reaches down and grabs Zorak about the face and lifts her up, and he's trying to cut her throat. So,
Jesus.
Zorak,
I would like to heroically intervene.
is that a thing?
I spend a hero point and say my turn is just right now.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah, I'll let that happen.
I'll just
That's really cool.
I spend a hero point.
I
to
will.
say
I will
no.
totally let that happen. Like, so
'cause you can do that. That's one of the
yes,
hero
um,
rules you do.
coup de grace are a full round action. So at this point, he basically has Zorak essentially in a grapple, and he's still sort of pulling the knife out and starting to put it to her neck. You go right now.
Yeah, I would like to put my warhammer in his skull.
You don't say. You don't say. You hit Zorak.
Well
No.
done.
No one kills the rock but me.
No, nobody kills my friends but me.
It's like the exact opposite. I rolled. This is my third one I've rolled tonight on an
Hey.
attack, and I maxed my fucking
I mean,
damage.
if it
Yeah, I was gonna
helps,
say, at least you maxed your damage.
if it helps, I've only rolled 2 20s.
Yeah.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not
No,
actually
he's only
four.
rolled 2 20s. He's rolled over.
So, at this moment, being that it is latish, and a key thing has happened, and Dandarin
Zarak died.
and Dandarin just went and moved his initiative to 2. No, Zarak is not dead because it's a full round action, but this dude is definitely trying to kill her right now. So we're gonna stop here because it's already pretty late, and I know that basically everybody but me has to work in the morning. And we will pick up next week
Jesus.
during this fight.
Cool.
Dope.
We should have waited for my thing till next week.
So I do want to thank everybody for watching. It was fun, and I enjoyed basically just watching you guys fail at the most mundane of tasks and then succeed at stupid stuff pretty admirably.
Just like I called it this morning.
Somehow you guys are playing Kick-Ass and Chew Bubblegum, even though I thought we were playing Eberron. So that's fun.
Have you played with us before, John?
Yeah, it's always fun, but in like the most disappointing way.
I think a round of high fives all around for that comment from John Eric. High fives, guys.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna end the stream so that we can do like our post talk. But thanks again, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Gorlami time.